Okay, sorry guys, I kind of skipped the investigation. So, but to sum it up, there was burn stuff, the window was broken, Kinjo was on some bullshit and not telling us and saying, oh, wait till the class trail or something. Kurakawa got in late, but she told us useful stuff. Ayame got her thigh hurt and her tendon too, so she probably won't be sprinting much after this. I'm just gonna start the class trail. Sorry! First of all, let's start with a brief No. We already know how it works, pal. We don't need it. Finally, the second chocolate. What do you mean, finally? There's no such thing as being used to this atrocious game. I'm actually more anxious than last time. Yeah. But if I'm afraid here, it can't be helped. As we did last time, let's think carefully with everyone. Now then, first... Wait a minute, there's something I want to ask first. Of course you do. Oh my, what's the hold up? What are you going to ask? Last time, it was my first time, so I didn't question it. But now that I think about it, I believe I have to ask this. The body discovery announcement. What exactly are the conditions for the broadcast to show up? Makaru, why are you suddenly asking this kind of stuff? If you find a dead body, then it shows the body announcement. You just shut up. Hoo. I see. After all, it is Mikaru, the one who paid attention to that, huh? Even so, it is basically as Kobashikawa says. When you find a body, I broadcast it. Only when 3 people find it. At least 3 people have found a body. The announcement will show up for everyone. This is written so weird, I'm sorry. Was it always like that? Is that a rule made on the spot, or was it applied from last time? Of course it was applied from the beginning. In Maki's case, started from it first, then Maeda, and finally Hatano. Since the order was complete, it satisfies the condition of 3 people. The announcement came out because that rule was successfully completed. Right. It's true, the announcement rang the moment Hatano discovered it last. This thing, to say an important detail at a time like this. Was that? Did I not tell you about this? It's too late. Oh crap, well, you know when people live they forget. It's like that, right? Except I'm not a human. I'm a bear, so it's okay. Okay, when more than 3 people find a body. Well, that found criteria is... It's not dwell on time, is it? For example, a week passes after the initial discovery, then the second one appears. And even if the third discovery occurs another week later, the broadcast will still ring. Yeah, time doesn't matter at all. When the first 3 people who have seen a corpse in any way, the announcement will sound the moment the third person discovers a body. Mikado, I know it's fine to check the rules, but is the condition of the body discovery announcement important enough to ask? Wouldn't our main purpose now be to find a culprit? Keep quiet, not over yet. Now then, Monokuma. This is the most important question. That would be a witness to the crime. Includes culprit. Wait, huh? How did you word that? What did you just say? I asked a question, you want to answer? You asked, do the witnesses include the culprit? Well, that's a bit pretty, very super great whole delicate matter. I see. Even with a sharp sense, it becomes a problem. Okay, I'll tell you in this particular scenario. Depending on the characteristics of the case, whether or not the culprit is included in discovery will be decided at the end of the trial. What? Then it's different from this time? Then no one knows. It's up to our own judgment. That would also induce everyone to be against each other. I already told you this. When it comes to trials, I'm fairer than a Buddha, God, and Jesus combined. You said Jesus twice in a different meaning. Let's recap. In the last case, you said that the announcement rang because Akane Taira, Yuki Maeda, and Ayame Hatano discovered the body. Then in the last case, Mitsuhiro Higa, the culprit, must have been excluded from the equation of 3 people discovering the body. Nah, I excluded Higa-kun. In fact, it didn't matter much if I included him, since the first 3 people to discover it were together at the time. Then, what about this case? The culprit who killed Kizune Tomori. Did you include that person as a discoverer? Yeah, that's right. Specifications aside. Where did sudden dialect? Did you copycat Teruya? What? My dialect's not that awkward. I mean, I have the mainland pronunciation. You don't seem to be enough from the mainland to mix different parts of every country. No comments. No comments on that. Well, if you ask for my opinion on a particular case, I would be the one in trial instead. If a judge enters the discussion, it's unfair, right? That would be a violation. You're also evading the answer. Fine. Just looking at your reaction makes me think I touched a sensible subject. Nope, I don't know what you're talking about. What the hell is Mikado talking about? Somebody let me know. Well, that does it for the mischief to this point. And let's go with the trial soon. Did you know that 12 o'clock has passed already? Originally, I was going to start right away, but Miss Mikado sounded weird, and it's late now. Anyways, let's go. First, start with the arrangement of the case. Why is he... Okay. Why did Mikado ask such a question? Bro, you're so dumb. You're actually so dumb. Ray is right. Bro, these are all dumb people. I hate to follow one of his words, but we need to begin with the case. Yo, okay. This is the topic at hand, because the people on the dormitory side at the time of the situation want to know the details of this incident. Alright, what happened to them? After listening to the body discovery announcement, I was in a hurry to find you guys, and then she was dead in the power room, all over with burn marks in the room. Okay, for those who know, reorganize the scene with the rest, and those who do not know the order of events. From now on, take some time to confirm your positions with everyone. Kinjo, don't you have something to tell us before that? What? You said you wouldn't make anyone a victim if we followed you. For that purpose, we agreed, and you got rid of a group of 3 people. And everything ended up like this. So why? Are you proud of it? Good job. Okay, I would have to make amends to risk my own life and apologize for that, because I didn't keep my promises, but if you can't surpass this moment, everyone will die. It's a pity for what happened with Tomori, but I also have a duty to keep you all from being executed in this class trial. If you don't like it, I'll be out of this trial. No, you're not. Yeah, I'm an incompetent cop who can't make promises anyway. That's enough. Everybody's on edge. Think about other things later and focus on this trial for now. Yes, Akane. I know you mean well, but let's finish this first. Yeah, and Kinjo, I didn't mean to. Sorry. It's fine. Then let's begin sorting out the case, but step by step. Well, you know I won't say it anymore, but I don't help you, understand? I don't need you, because there is Kinjo with us. Are you talking to me? No, Mikado, you can stay! Don't let me do everything. We have to do it together. I said this to myself. Even for a useless person, you must understand the truth of this case. Boo, alright. Was she was she dripping from her clown nose? Then let's begin. I don't trust the priest guy. I was saying in the investigation it's either him or Kurokawa, but Kurokawa doesn't seem to be. I don't know. The priest guy looks like he's gonna pull a Korekyo at some point. I didn't manage to get to the power room at the beginning of the whole incident to see directly. Let's discuss what we heard and saw. The first part, around 9 PM, Hatano discovered a fire in the power room, was it? Yeah, I was walking down the corridor on the 2nd floor before nighttime, but when I entered the power room there was black smoke coming out, and it seemed to smell like something burning. You mean that's what happened? I was at the antique shop, but I had no idea. I heard Hatano's yelling and rushed to the 2nd floor. Uehara and Mikado were together as we bumped into each other on the way. We went first to the power room, the epicenter of the fire. It was hot and smoky. The fire was about to spread from the control room to outside. Yes, exactly what Kinjo told me. I already know this part from Kinjo. But did Uehara tune soon after us? Yeah. He used a fire extinguisher. So you brought a fire extinguisher in the hallway on the 2nd floor to extinguish the fire, right? Yeah, that's correct. By the way, how does Mayana know that? The ones in the area were Kinjo, Uehara, Mikado, and me. Oh, I asked Kinjo about it while investigating. Right, I told him. Mayada knows the unfolding process of the case. Of course he knows. Is that so? Then let's continue. The 4 of us were putting out the fire. I heard something breaking inside the control room. At that moment, Kinjo looked at Uehara and asked to see if someone was going out of the power room door, and the other 3, including me, went to the control room inside, and inside there was... Tomori was dead! Yeah, at that point the PDA came out. Taira and Kurokawa arrived at the power room soon after. Okay, from here on, our dorm team has joined, so let me speak. When we arrived, the fire had already been extinguished. After that, like last time, Monokuma handed out the file and put us on time to investigate. Right, from here on out are the things that I have seen with my own eyes. Except you guys didn't, because I forgot to record the investigation. Right after I examined the control room and returning. That happened. That being... Hatono's injury by a wire. Yeah, her leg. The scene was pretty... It was a fan service. Shortly thereafter, Hatono had an accident in which her leg was injured by a wire trap. That's what happened? Yamaguchi said it before in front of the elevator. Didn't you hear, dummy? Ayame-chan, it's really okay. You still seem to be a little wobbly. Oh, no problem. It hurts a little right now, but it's not a major injury. Her tendon literally was cut. She can't even feel her leg, according to her and Kanata. Kanata said she... Yeah, I don't think she's going back to sprinting, alright? So we can treat her properly after this trial. Isn't that right, Inori? Yes. Well, you don't have to worry. Please continue with the trial. If you laugh, you go to hell. Ah. You, that leg wound. Is this an injury more serious than expected? What are you talking about? Didn't she say it was okay? Even pretense is useless. Do you think I can read other people's minds? Yeah, you don't. You, that incompetent, and the doctor. The atmosphere of you three. It makes things clear that something happened. Shall we guess? Let's see. How about the leg injury that's so serious? You won't be able to use it never again. What? What are you talking about? Ayame-chan said she was okay. That is a lie, right? Mikado's just talking nonsense, yeah? Hey. Sorry. I thought you might be worried more, so I decided to keep this with Hatano. I lied. I'm sorry. Inori, no. Is it a lie? What do you mean? In reality, Hatano's injury, the moving muscle tissue, the most important posterior tendon was amputated. Without luck, it's a serious injury that you might really have to wear crutches forever. What? Why was she lying to say that it's okay for that serious injury? This is the most important trial of all of our lives. Every details matter. So sorry. Because of that, Hatano and I thought it was to avoid getting you guys confused, but I'm so sorry that Hatano tried to pretend to be okay. So sorry. Ayame-chan, it's a lie, right? Why are you so stressed out? Tell us something. Sorry, I was lying. What? Then it's really... Because the nurse's office is now locked, and since there are no facilities for treatment to treat the wound, it is literally... I didn't read, sorry. It's really hard to stand still. Isn't that too much for her? Hatano, shouldn't you get treated quickly, get healed, and come to the trial later? Hey, what are you talking about? What's more important than the trial? That is... But Ayame-chan, she can even run again. No, I'm sorry, but I agree with Mikado. Whether your leg is crippled, cut off, or unable to walk, if you don't win the trial, you will die. Then it's more serious than what you mentioned before the trial. I lied that I was okay with this. As a result, I caused even greater confusion. Sorry, everyone. Ayame-chan doesn't have to be sorry. Can she be let go? At least get a proper treatment? No, it's absolutely forbidden to leave the court during the trial. If you're so worried about Miss Hatano's legs, you'll have to finish your trial first. You say that, but I'm also in agreement. I don't really care, but I want you to focus on finding the culprit. If the focus is on me, I'll die just standing. But Ayame-chan... So she says, but let me comply with will. And don't you think it would be wise to finish the trial earlier in time and get treatment? Uehara is right, Hatano. It may still be painful, but please hold on a little. Let's focus on the trial for now, everyone. Okay, why is Tyra getting mocked every time? Thank you for your consideration, Akane. Then, let's get back to the main topic again. Yeah, where did we end again? We were talking about Hatano's injury by the wire. Yeah, shortly thereafter, Inori took Hatano to provide first aid. We went out of the power room and we continued the investigation. That's the end of it, right? Quiz! But I think it's a useless question. Sorry in advance. The infirmary was locked, so how did you do Hatano's treatment and where? Right, I needed something tough and thick to use as a I'm so sorry. To use as a bandage. So there are some things like rags in the warehouse. However, since it is really a substitute and only first aid, there's a possibility of additional sepsis and bacterial infection. She will need antibiotics just in case. But in order to do that, we have to find out the killer and end this trial, right? Yeah, but because someone died. Well, is there really another culprit among us? A killer who stabbed somebody? What do you think, shithead? Shatid. Now, why are you doubting it for? That's for sure. Oh, suddenly not so optimistic. But if you point the killer gets executed. Yeah, would you rather... It seems like you're sacrificing one person to save Hatano. So, would you save the killer? To save the killer, 11 of us have to die? I agree. Let me say this, okay? A person who knows their own situation is cheap, even if they die here. How long will we use our time on useless topics? I didn't mean it. I apologize. Also, how come Mikado and Kinjo team up? They seem to be getting better now. I understand Otori's feelings, but is it okay? I feel the same because it feels like, in the end, whether or not we point out the killer in this trial, someone will be killed. I wish there were no victims, but that bare Monokuma thing won't let us go. Damn it. What purpose does he want us to achieve? So, the case was cleared up. Who's the killer? Whoever's the killer, raise your hand. We have to figure that out from now on. Honestly, this case has a lot of twists. If you think of it as an ordinary murder case, it's not going to fit in at all. First, let's solve the mystery of each event one by one. Priority should be the victim's body. The body? So Marty's corpse was an important clue to be able to tell the whole story of this incident. There aren't just one or two secrets related to her body, to the corpse. Personally, I didn't notice there was anything special. Of course, based on my investigation, let's present the evidence gathered. From now on, the non-stop debate. Okay. I need the action button. I think I remember the controls anyway. Unless they're different. Stomach wound. Definitely stomach wound. That's definitely relevant. What clues does Samari's body have? Or the murder weapon? I don't remember well. The knife was on her neck. The whole body was with blood all over. What is that text? It was terrible. Satsuki was vomiting for a while. She was dead. Is this relevant? Other than that, can't you think of something more essential? I think... Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, it was a knife. And Kurokawa's testimony. Taito, wait a second. The weapon that stabbed Tomori was not a simple knife. It was a kitchen knife. Yeah, big difference. Huh? Kitchen knife? Right. It's even clearly stated in the Monokuma file. The definitive cause of death is a cut to the esophagus caused by a knife. Right. Sorry, I can't remember well. But the kitchen knives are only in the kitchen. I swear to God, girl. Is there any evidence the culprit brought it? There is, because Kurokawa saw that a knife disappeared from the kitchen right after the incident. Right, Kurokawa? Yes. Too slow response. So the killer brought the kitchen knife out of the kitchen? Fork found in kitchen. I guess it disappeared from the kitchen. But that's a little weird. If the killer used a kitchen knife, there's a contradiction. How? What are you talking about? Wait, I think I know. Is that why Tyra is speaking up? It's clear then. At the time of the crime, Tyra should know that it was contradictory for the killer to take the kitchen knife from there. The reason is... What's the reason? What's the fucking reason? What the... Why does she look like that? yeah, she was in the kitchen. Taira, that contradiction is because you were in the kitchen at nighttime, right? Yes, that's right. That's it, Maida-kun. What? But what does that mean? Mikado, didn't you say you weren't gonna meddle? I said I wouldn't help, but I didn't say I would not raise a question, asshole. Yikes! Taira told me she was cooking in the kitchen. Where else would she be cooking, Yuki? Near the end of nighttime. Cooking? Yeah, I'm sure because I remember that I accidentally splashed oil on my clothes and wiped them in the bathroom. Hey, that happened. Wait, if Taira was still in the kitchen at that point, how did the culprit take the knife from the kitchen without bumping into her? Also, that's not all that's weird. Taira said it was around nighttime, but Tomori's death was at 9:30 written in Monokuma file. Taira, I'm asking just in case. You're the last person in that area. Did you all put the knives in place before you left the kitchen? Yes, I used it when I was cooking myself, so I remember it for sure. Wait, what? When the knife was used in the crime, Taira, if you checked all the knives in the kitchen, it doesn't make sense. That's why it's called a contradiction. If you think about it, do you think it's not a kitchen knife then? No, there are only kitchen knives in the kitchen. Oh, I'm tired of kitchen knives! No second floor was open, and I've been searching all places ever since. The second floor was open, I mean. But when everyone started investigating, then Kurokawa said she saw the kitchen knife disappear. The knife used as a weapon. Kitchen. That's correct. Which one is it? Kenjo, don't you know? Sure, it's a contradiction. You don't even have to think about the ridiculous story of using another knife out of nowhere. Kenjo reached the limit. Now we are all finished. But there's only one way to solve this problem. Oh my god. Really? How? Very simple, in fact. Taira, you are lying right now. Oh my god. Okay. Wait. Huh? Wait. Why is it this way? Isn't it obvious? The Monokuma file doesn't lie. Since time of death is sure to be 9:30. Also, the kitchen knife is only in the kitchen. Therefore, the order of events, the kitchen knife being taken from the kitchen killed Kitsune Tomori, is established. Oh my god, what? I can't read this. These two facts can be proven with certainty. But what does that kind of Taira mean? What proves that a woman was cooking in the kitchen? And not a man! No, wait a minute. What are you trying to say? Taira, I'm in doubt. Were you together with someone? Yes or no? Yes or no, Taira? I was alone. I can't believe someone without witnesses. Anyone could use it as if just stuck at a alibi. Oh no, wait a minute. Why is the room like this all of a sudden? I was really in the kitchen, guys. But if Taira's words are true, it would never make sense. Taira, did you lie? Why did you lie? Don't tell me. Taira is the culprit! Why am I the culprit? What reason is there for me to kill Kizune-chan? There's nothing. I got it. She kept ignoring your persuasions and invitations. Did you bear a grudge? Funny, really. Kizune-chan grunted a lot, but in the end she accepted us. The murder happened after that. I can see that you may not be the killer. Still, to say that you were in the kitchen would be a lie. Why are you lying like that? No, it's not a lie. Where was she? Taira, tell me honestly. I want to believe you, that you are not the culprit. But then, are you really lying to us? Oh! Wait, I can't tolerate Akane being the culprit without corroboration. But I'm not trying to blame her. It doesn't make any sense that Taira's words were true. No, there's a case where Akane's words can be proven to be true enough. What? It seems you haven't realized. Since you don't, let me show you. The fact that Akane never lied. I think she did. I think she did. Live and learn. Okay. A brutal showdown. Broken window, Kinjo's testimony. What's Kinjo's testimony? Tell me this. Yeah. You can't. Wait. Is it Kinjo's testimony? Okay, no, there is still a contradiction. Forget somebody's fatal injury. You don't know that. Yes, I do. Was that it? Oh my god, it's in Korean! Bro, I messed up so bad it's in Korean. There did should be in Korean. Oh my god! Broken window? Is it the broken window? If it's a broken window, I'm going to be so pissed. I can't even see what she's saying. I'm just winging it. Okay, so I just have to wait then. Go on again. Yes. Oh, I got to do this again? Yeah, finally. I had to look it up. I can read that. Had to know. I'm sorry, but there's a contradiction in that logic. What are you talking about? Isn't it possible to commit a crime while proving Akane's words? Had to know. You mean the killer is sticking a knife out of the kitchen right after Taira leaves the kitchen to wash her clothes? And then they run straight to the power room and put the knife back into Tomori's body. Yeah, if you move quickly, it's quite possible to do that in less than 3 minutes from the kitchen to the power room. Fast isn't the problem. Did you forget, Hatono? By the time nighttime began, you guys were putting off a fire in the power room. Oh. Hatono, Kinjo, Mikaru, Uehara. If 4 people are in the power room and walk in with an object that stands out like a kitchen knife, it cannot be missed or even hidden in plain sight. In other words, even if someone secretly managed to pull the knife out of the kitchen while Akane is out, it's absolutely impossible to enter inside the control room and stab the knife onto the body. I can't... Thanks for the explanation, Maeda. Thanks to you, it saved us trouble. Like Maeda said, Hatono, I understand that you're a close friend to Taira. Unfortunately, if Taira's words were true, there would be an absolute contradiction to appear in her testimony. Akane, speak up your mind. Did you lie? Can I say one more important detail on this? When the current body discovery announcement showed up, the 4 of us who put off the fire and the 6 in the student dormitory confirmed each other, so there's an alibi for us. But Akane Taira and Mikako Kurokawa, you two have no alibi. Well, this much has been proven this far. It's not Akane. Taira really killed somebody? No. No, I'm not the real killer. Taira? Really, the kitchen knife thing, I really don't know. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I'm not really the culprit. I didn't kill Kizuna-chan. Akane, really? Can I trust you? Bro, shut the fuck up. But how do you explain that when you don't have an alibi? If you don't have it, it means that either Taira or Kurokawa are the culprit. You're the most potential suspect in every way. Is it so weird to cook alone and go to the bathroom? I just happened to be alone. Taira, tell the truth, and if you're not guilty, prove your innocence. Is Taira really the culprit? No. Oh my god. Non-stop debate. Teria testimony. Burn fuse line, glass shards, okay. Taira is the Chinese culprit! I'm sorry? I'm not! Akane doesn't have an alibi since when? I mean, she doesn't. Kabashikawa and I say... That'll be enough time to kill a person and for the fire. Study assess. I did not! Okay. I think a study assessment. What was the fire for? There are a lot of confusing things I've seen. Lighters and flashlights, fuse lines, etc. Shoot. Yeah, Wait, Kabashikawa, that's impossible. What, you mean about Saida procuring the tools used in the crime? Yes, Saida has no alibi for the time being, I can't deny that. Bringing the tools, however, there sure is one. Oh, you seem certain about that alibi. I want to hear this. The reason I know this is because of the fact that somebody told me. Right, Atori? Huh? Atori knew it. The lighter and fuses appeared during nighttime. Gone? From where? My guess would be the antique shop again. They really gotta close that down. Atori mentioned that he went to the antique store every day. After Maki's incident, the antique store was filled with most of the items. Then, after nighttime on the second day, the things used in this case suddenly disappeared, as mentioned by Atori. Oh, that's it. That's right, I did check them. So, are you saying the killer took the tools during nighttime on the second day? That would be the case, unless Atori is lying. No lie, it's true. Hey, the second day, Atori, was almost 2 days ago. Why didn't you talk about then, knowing what kind of scheme was made when Maki was? I'm sorry, at that time I wasn't able to figure out things properly. It could have been my own mind playing trick, so I wasn't really sure about it. Well, if you're sure the tools were gone, then the killer took the tools in the middle of the night on the second day. That is what happened so far, if I understand this correctly. May I ask, why does that become Taira's alibi? Why Tori says, yeah, okay. Right. Because of late night rule, why Taira couldn't bring the tools at night. That is because of the nighttime rule, of course. Nighttime rule? Wait, what? If it's the nighttime rule, that's what Kinjo decided, right? Do not come out of your rooms late at night after 10. When did you decide that? Mikado and Uehara have no choice but to know now, because the group decided when you were not there. Oh, wait, that's it. They don't come out of their rooms at night. This means that all of the rest, meaning Mikado and Uehara, who were on their own, could have come out after nighttime. Yes, in other words, Saito was also in a time frame alibi during nighttime. Yeah, I never came out of my room at night. Wait a minute, there's no alibi at all. Right. Huh? The nighttime rule isn't the rule set by Monokuma, is it? So what makes you think it's a genuine rule? You don't get killed from breaking it and no evidence if you did, correct? That's... I'm sorry, but I think the same thing. Even if Taira followed the rules faithfully, it's no different from before without evidence. Does that mean... No, without rule, Taira's alibi could be enough. Kinjo-kun. Oh, what is it now? Until now you've been pushing Akane Taira, but now you're a defense this time? Don't tell me you're going to accept your own rules now, because that's a self-made rule. Surely not. I know the laxity this rule has. It's lax? Of course, as Mikado said, it wasn't a formal rule. It was decided by ourselves, so there is no problem with breaking it. What? Break it? Isn't that actually helping a culprit? Oh no, Kinjo, did you such thing even though you knew this would happen? Sorry I kept it a secret from you guys. Actually, I did some work on your private rooms. Work? Indeed. Every nighttime, I put on a thin thread on the door of your private room. Oh my god! Thread? What does that mean then? In fact, it is pasted so that it passes between the wall connecting the door and the door frame. If you do this, the tape will break when the door is open, and the thread will break as well. So, if the thread was broken, it would sound like someone has opened the door. No, I've been watching at night every day this way. As each nighttime starts, I put a new thread on, and I got up earlier than anyone else in the morning to check if any of the threads were cut. So I can guarantee you, Tyler has never been out of the room in a single night past 10 p.m. Oh, did you do that? Then you know who exactly left the room on the night the tools were gone? No, unfortunately, I didn't find that out. What do you mean you couldn't figure it out? You mean you couldn't confirm that the thread was broken? No, it's because no one has broken the thread. What? That means... You mean no one left their room at night on the second day? To be precise, the rest except Makaru, Uehara, and Tomori. Because those three were an exception. Then that means that it was one of the three that was able to use the tools at that time. However, Tomori is already dead, so either Makaru or Uehara are the culprit. Don't make such rush... I can't speak! Don't make such rush judgments. I swear I didn't commit a murder. Okay, you swear, bro. Now, wait a minute. Kinjo, what does it mean for us to have a thread on the door as a secret? What do you mean? I explained it as a device to check if you were out of the room. Not like that. It's as if you couldn't trust us at all. I mean, you were spying on us without saying a word? Haida is right, Kinjo. You don't believe in us, do you? It is not my reality to believe or not to believe. It's just my nature, my own personality. I'm basically always suspicious of everyone, other than me. Why is that your nature? What's with the expressions of disapproval? I proved Titus' alibi thanks to this right on the door, right? Reasoning itself is impossible. Unless you're basically suspicious of others. Kinjo-kun, you really... Stop it! Why do you keep trying to fight? This isn't time right now. While we're doing this, Saturn's like... Everyone calm down. Even if I am in my legs, how many times is this gonna repeat already? It's not too late to cover up disputes after the trial is over. Now let's focus on the case, please. Okay. So, is it just me and the priest who eventually took the tools? For now, I think so. But isn't that funny? You guys, all the other kids are suspicious, but Tsurugi Kinjo is not at all. What? I'll say this again. No matter how much you claim Akane Taira was in the kitchen, it's useless without evidence. Would you prove Tsurugi Kinjo? That guy attaches his thread to a door? Where's the evidence that confirms your actions? Kinjo? If you think he's the culprit, in all situations, he can sleep at will. Why is Tsurugi Kinjo not suspicious then? You do think I'm the culprit now? Well, I'm just talking about possibilities. But you know there's no evidence in your words, do you? If that's the case, there's no evidence for Tori's testimony, right? The only one who checked those items was Tori. And even though it was just gone on the second day, we have no way to check it. What in blazes? You can believe me now? One moment. If Kinjo's or Tori's words are false, isn't Taira's alibi also false? Wait, what? I'm telling the truth here. Everyone is in disarray. It's like they're trying to look for a reason to trust each other, even more than in Maki's trial. Has our trust started to break? I don't want this outcome. I'm powerless on my own. Enough. Considering the true or falsehood of the testimony will change nothing, I believe. The testimonies that have already been pointed are worth considering. I like to approach this from the other side of the case. Kurokawa. Kurokawa, I think this is the first time I came here that you've said the longest speech. Kurokawa is right, you guys. Now, don't mind the trivial things. A lot of time has already passed. Focus on the idea of finding the culprit. As soon as you finish, will it be daybreak till then? Am I already half asleep right now? You shut up. Right. Yes, it seems that we were so enthusiastic about the killer being a liar. As Kurokawa said, let's turn around halfway back and move on. Okay, I think that would be good. Because I also want to avoid making Discord with you. Discord? Discord? Do whatever you want. To go around halfway, you mean talking about the identity of the criminal? Yes, that's the whole point of this class trial. Are you going to put things aside for a while? Either way, whether trial lied or not, we don't have the evidence, no matter who's right or not. Let's first solve another mystery. Okay, that's fine too. The more urgent it is, the more necessary it is to go back to. Oh my god, what did you just say? But even if you go back, what do we do first? Basically the same as before. Do you guys recall? The most important thing in this case is the dead body. But aside who the culprit is, tell me what doubts you have about it. Then a path towards the outline of the culprit will look more natural. The body. Tomodi's body was the most important clue. Let's recall in my memory how Tomodi's body looked. Okay, the thing on her... The cut on her stomach will be definitely the bullet, right? Stomach wound. Yeah. That will definitely be it. How Tomodi was killed, let's think about it. I thought of that before, but first of all, it's the knife, right? Yes, the Monocular file clearly points this out. Somebody was dead in the Switchium? No, she was alive! Why did she even go to such place, where there's not even light? It is possible the killer moved it. Anyhow, somebody in some way went to the Switch room. Instant... No, no, no! Yeah, I got it in time. Instant death, no. No, it was not. Not really. The girl suffered. Oh, sorry, that's not it. Remember? Somebody's cause of death was obviously the neck wound, but there was another wound. There was another one? The stomach wound, that's right. Right, that's the important point. The stomach was stabbed? Why is that important? The killer just stabbed her twice, right? In general it is, but think about it. The cause of the neck wound. In this case, for some reason, you stab your victim in the stomach and the neck later. If you are going to kill on the neck from the start, why do you want to stab at the stomach first? The stomach was hit cleanly, but the fatal wound was missed. However, she was killed in the end. Is there something amiss? Did you just rhyme? That's so cruel. You can probably see it like that. Looking at the case as a whole, it takes something to put into notice. What? What do you mean something to notice? Perhaps the fire has something to do with it? Fire, that's right. It turned out that there was a fire in the Switchium room. Yeah, it's also important. You guys, don't you think that the fire happened unnaturally? That's true. If you see a fuse on the wall and even lighter on the floor, you can see it right away. So, are you saying that the killer started the fire for some reason? Is there any reason to do that? Bro. This is also a question that doesn't really matter. Is a power room okay? I'm sure the Switch room is a really important place, so I heard. It's a big deal if it gets damaged. Well, it's a really big place, it's cool. Of course the fire was there. Fortunately we lived because the fuse line was laid to burn only the walls. But... Oh, I was supposed to not speak right. What did you just say now? It was laid to only burn the wall? Oh, it was kind of puzzling after all. There was such a big fire, but Tomodi's body didn't burn at all. Right. Only the wall without touching the machines or the body? Was there something on the walls? If it's a wall, what else was there? Wall. Wait. Looking back at it, there was a line passing. I got it, there was a line passing by it too. That's literally That's literally... What? Is it this? Oh my god. Oh my god. Is it... Is it this? Oh my god, okay. What was on the wall of the Suchium room? There's only one thing. The glass window. That's not on the wall, that's... Okay. The glass window? That big ass glass window! But it wasn't broken by the time we arrived. Oh, well, it turns out that when Kinjo and the others brought the fire extinguisher to put out the fire, they said they heard something cracking or breaking inside. That's right, at that time I thought it was the sound of someone in the switch room breaking the window and going outside. I asked Uehara to check the entrance of the power room. And yeah, no one was seen. Oh, hold on. Okay, no, ignore my theory. If it's right, I'll tell you. Wait a minute, if the only thing on the wall of the switching room is a glass door, all of their talents are gonna play into this, right? You can see where I'm going, right? They didn't see anyone, right? The culprit's purpose was to burn the window? How do you... Well, I think I heard this somewhere. When the glass is heated, it becomes fragile. Then the killer set fire to the switch room after killing somebody, and broke the fragile glass window while everyone put out the fire and take advantage of this to escape. Wait, isn't that weird? If that's the case, all you have to do is heat up the window and break it. There's no reason to do a big job by setting the whole wall on fire waging for no reason, right? It's possible it was used as a smoke screen, actually. Uehara tried to check the entrance, but didn't he say he couldn't see anything because of the smoke? Wow, that's too complicated. Anywho, doesn't that mean someone was inside the switch room right before we got in? Then me and Kinjo, who were gathered at that point, Uehara and Mikado, have a definite alibi, right? No, you guys are making a big mistake right now. Huh? What do you mean? Think more carefully. Then in your thoughts you can spot the contradictions. Oh my god. Just say it. It's not that hard. Just say it. Just... Stop fake posting. Fake tweeting. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's 4. Not ready. We are mistaken. What do you mean? You organize what you guys said. Surely the fuse lighter were used. I mean... No, I don't want to activate- oh my god. I mean, sure, the reason the killer used those is because there was a purpose for setting a fire. The fuse was only surrounded by the wall, right? No, glass... Oh my god. Glass shards. In addition to the windows, there was no special items in there. Meaning the culprit broke the window is not to start. The window and smoke started to spread. You checked out in only glass. Yes, the molecular state changes when cracks occur. The killer was prying the glass in order to escape. Yes, it's the cracks. Glass shards. Organize what you guys said. Surely... First, you're going to the switch room. Surely the fuse and lighter were used. Right, correct. It's for setting a fire. No! I'm so dumb! I'm so dumb! Oh my god, this... I have to think. I hate having to think. Dying message, glass shards. Glass shards. Okay. Setting a fire. Yeah, I mean, fire was set, so... Okay, Kanata can never be wrong. Look at this cutie. Then it has to be... Wait. No, yeah, that was wrong. I'm kind of dumb. Hold on. Okay, so we had to counter Kanata after all. It was just the last thing. I have one heart. I'm so cooked. Yeah, that's it. Yeah? That's what? As Kinjo said, I think we were mistaken for one thing. It's what Inori said right now. The broken glass, that's what I meant. What are you talking about? We know for sure the glass window is broken, aren't you? Yeah, the glass window is broken, but it wasn't broken by anyone. It wasn't broken by anyone. Did the window break on its own? That's a bit ridiculous, but I guess it's not a wild fantasy. No, Maeda made a very precise point. As Maeda mentioned, the window was broken alone without anyone touching it. Wait, really? Is it possible? Like Inori said, the glass is weak to heat. Of course, it can withstand a certain degree, but if it's heated directly or if the temperature difference between indoors and outdoors is severe, the weakness becomes more prominent. Guys, do you remember the structure of the switchroom room? It was a completely enclosed space except for the entrance, right? In fact, even when the fire broke out, I couldn't feel any heat outside. Yeah, Kinjo's words are correct. Still, isn't it too much for glass to break just by thermal change without any external force? Of course, the conditions are just right, not impossible, but... I don't know what you're saying. You're dumb. Right, as Inori mentions, the logic is a bit far-fetched. But what if the conditions were met? Huh? I don't know if anyone noticed it, because it wasn't a part that was noticeable. At the incident, and because the switchroom itself was dark and probably no one was interested in, but bro is rambling. The glass window of the switchroom was very tight. That said, if the heat alone was left with enough time to break by itself, Kenjo's words would make sense. Hey, it's an interesting reasoning, but what's the basis of it? That it was only possible that the glass could break on its own by hearing this? You didn't throw this without thinking, right? Of course not, because Kenjo's remarks have an adequate basis. Isn't that right, Kinjo? Right, did you also notice, Maeda? Yeah, actually, I was also guessing when I said that the window wasn't broken by someone. The exact reason the glass broke on its own is probably because of the glass shards, right, Kinjo? The shards. Correct. Please don't tell me I'm the only one in the world that doesn't get this until you give me a proper explanation. At first, I only knew that the killer would make use of the window in some way to escape without fail. But Kinjo said during the investigation. Yeah, the shards are weird. Nearly broken. The glass was neatly broken. What does that mean, you ask? In other words, it means if you broke it with human strength, it wouldn't break like this. It's human power. It's neatly broken. I don't understand it. I see. What you mean is a broken shape. When I listen to my head and think again, it really feels like that. Yeah, if someone breaks a window with a hand or a blunt object, it should crack and break like a spider web. Have you ever experienced it, at least once? You accidentally broke a glass or the shape of a broken glass? Oh, definitely. It looks like it was broken into a very complex shape, like cobwebs. But how is the glass window of the switchroom? It's like a broken shape, as if a part of the window somehow got neatly removed. Oh, right! Okay, now I get it. No matter how you look, don't you think it was broken by in a natural way? It certainly looks that way. There seems to be no contradiction in Kinjo's words. Funny, isn't it? Mikari, you must have known this much. I'd like you to stop trying to test me. Don't think of the class trial as a joke, Mikado. Oh my, thanks for the advice. I'm just worried that one day you'll become as lost as these friends of yours. Kenjo, don't mind Mikaru, keep going. Actually, they just finished explaining. Wait a minute, if Kinjo's words are true, then when the fire broke out, didn't Michi that nobody was inside the switchroom? Oh, so that's what he meant? Wouldn't that be very likely? If someone was inside and were trying to escape, it would be quicker to break the glass manually, instead of waiting to be heated in order to break it itself. Yes, besides we had at that time opened the entrance to the power room and guarding it. No matter how thick the smoke was, if someone tried to leave, they would have been caught. At that time, we all thought we hadn't seen them because we all knew someone broke the glass. But in reality, no one was inside the switchium. And thus, the killer deliberately heats the glass and breaks itself, and for the reason of making us think someone inside the switchium broke the glass and escaped. Okay, that's it, right? Then, in the end, everyone's alibi no longer hold. Is that the conclusion? Eh? Think about it. If there was no one inside the switchium, the killer was ready to start a fire in advance. They can mix us in at any time. If that is the case, aren't you saying that it's possible for everyone to start a fire, including Kinjo and the group who went to put out the fire when the window was broken, and the rest of us in the dormitory side? Nani? Why didn't they localize that? Oh, you mean, I mean they localized it, but why? Okay. Oh, you mean we don't have an alibi either? Yamaguchi is right. Anyone can commit a crime by reasoning from the information provided thus far. Hold on, isn't that established under the premise that the person who caused the fire is the culprit? It hasn't been clear yet, but it seems too hasty. There's no reason for a person who is not the culprit to set out a fire. I'm not crazy enough. Even so, at the beginning, the timing of this incident, Tamori's death occurred around 9:30 p.m. Was anyone close by during that time? I mentioned this earlier, but I was cooking alone. And I was looking around the warehouse for things to help with the treatments. It was useful for Hatano's first aid. I was just lying in my own bed. What the? You mean everyone was alone? There does not seem to be anyone near the time of the crime. The only way we could see each other was to find out where each one was, but where the alibis were lost, with the exception of Mikado, Uehara, and Kurokawa. What? Then we are back where we started? What he's thinking. There's no evidence that everyone has an alibi or to deduce the culprit, that's why... You mean there's no one in doubt? No suspects? But then, who was it? Taida. Except you. What? What? Isn't this deja vu again? You know, maybe we're in an infinite loop now. Stop doubting Akane. Didn't the talk about her testimony finish before? No, it wasn't over. It's just that it was put on hold because there was so much uncertain information. Nothing resolved about why she lied. No, I didn't lie. Wait, it's not Taida. It's the testimonies of Kinjo and Natori proved it, right? Yeah, that's right. Whoever the culprit is, they have to prepare a fuse and a lighter to start a fire. But wasn't it mentioned that Taida didn't come out of her room in the middle of the night when we went to our private rooms? I'm uncertain about that. Frankly, I'm suspicious of each of them, and they were put on hold. Shouldn't we use information we have, even if it isn't certain information? Unless there is an objection to definitely deny it. I apologize. I'm really sorry. Even if there's an alibi for bringing the tools, I'll just keep it in mind. Taida's lie, however. To be honest, it's the same with me. If she's not the killer, why did she make such suspicious remarks? If not the killer, why sus? Hey, I told you, I might have been mistaken. Well, either way, Tara wouldn't be able to get the tools, so she can't be the killer. Enough with this meaningless argument. You are really just stupid. What now? Do you think we're stupid? Is it so stuffy that you can't see it? Want me to share some inside? What the? At the start of the class trial, you said you wouldn't even help. Oh, did I? Then I won't meddle. Do it yourself. No, that isn't... Listen first. Mikado might know something, you know? I'll tell you one thing for those who are ignorant and poor, is that there's a method. For the criminal to get the tools without using their hand. Say it then. The most representative example is an accomplice. You suspected that there could have been an accomplice in the last class trial, right? But Mikado, isn't it less likely that we have one in this case? We were informed that the only person to escape this place would be the killer. Moreover, even if there is an accomplice, it's impossible for them to bring the tools. According to Kinjo, in the middle of the night, the tools disappeared. Not only Taida, but also because neither of us left our private rooms. Except for the three who didn't act with us. Then it's gotta be Uehara or Makaru, the ones who helped Taira? Why are you already making me confirm as I did it? It's not me. Okay, surely Makaru and me were able to roam around without any restrictions that day. But I haven't shown up to the antique shop until now. You don't even have to doubt me or Uehara Kinji. The person who brought the items from the antique shop. Can't you see it? Based on the testimonies from Kinjo and Notori. It was Tomori. It was Kizuna. Makaru, the person who brought the tools. You mean it was Tomori? Huh? It was Tomori? That's right. If you have an accomplice, Tomori Kizuna shows up. You can't see anyone else, can you? By the way, I'm so ashamed that the incompetent had to answer this. Wait a minute, Tomori's the victim though? Why is she an accomplice? I'm not sure exactly. But the only ones to bring the tools are Makaru, Uehara, and her. She was a victim, so I wonder if there would be a contact with a criminal at some point. Incompetent. This is a common pattern, is it not? The story of a criminal tricking someone into a crime. Speaking of which, the criminal took advantage of the accomplice in the end. Wait a minute, Kinjo? Kinjo can also bring the tools at nighttime. There's no way to prove that Kinjo was out of her whatever. Didn't the time run out while talking about that? Believe or not to believe, you're free to believe. Now I think it's wise to follow more clear information than in certain needs. Yeah, if you are with Tomori, you can definitely bring the tools. So what happened? For some reason Tomori did something funny. The killer... How is it funny, bro? The killer themselves maintained an alibi that somebody delivered the tools to the killer in the late night hours. Now wait a second, but Kizuna-chan didn't change her mind? There has to be a reason to decide and help the killer. You said she was an accomplice, but she can't actually get on the level of an accomplice. What the accomplice did, which... Is the accomplice in the room with us right now? The tools. I need this thing. Please bring these for me. It's not enough excuse. What about it? If Taira is the culprit, there's nothing strange about that, right? No. That is not... Taira, I'm sorry. I hate to doubt you, but no matter how much I look, there's only you. You too. Everybody, this is too much. Why are you all so anxious to turn me into a bloody killer? You don't even have an alibi. The only difference between you and me is that I made a mistake once. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? You just got an appropriate stick, so you're hunting witches? Apologies, but it's a situation that doesn't seem to be as bad as it is right now. I'm the culprit only because there's no certainty at all. What the fuck are they talking about? Taira is the culprit. Is that really it? As Taira said, there's only one thing everyone is suspicious of her right now. It's just a witch hunt. If there's no solid evidence. Let's think about it. Was there any more convincing evidence? Is Taira telling the truth? Or is she lying? Continue playing the game. I hate this one. Excuse me? Okay, this is probably... Okay, no. So that's not... I'm playing this in Korean! Bro! I have no stars left. Oh my god. Come to think of it. There is a clue about the culprit's identity. Oh my god. It was in Korean! A clue to the killer's identity? Is that true? If you knew that, why do you mention this now? Sorry, I just remembered. And even though it's a clue to the killer, I don't know who it's pointing to. You don't even know who it's pointing to? Then how do you know it's a clue to the killer? Meta, what you're referring to is the dying message, is that correct? Right, some may not have seen it, but next to Mori's body, there were some letters written in blood. A dying message, is it? Something like a cryptogram that point to the killer before they die? Yeah, everyone take a look at this. This dying message presumed to have been written by Tomori. Hey, this is it! I've seen this blood spot too. I just saw the blood spotter in a strange shape. Yeah, 4 X's. Actually looks like that, but if there's any meaning in these letters... Look it up. Sorry. This is a clue to the culprit, right? I think it could be a good idea to decipher the dying message, rather than being suspicious of Akane while catching a fuss over it. But what does it say? Do we even have any letters? X, 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 X! X, 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 X for X's? I don't know what this means at all! I think kinjo or Mikado may know. Isn't this a professional job? Basically, the dying message refers to the culprit more directly than you think. Because it's just before she dies, the victim cannot afford to waste their time thinking. In other words, if you think a little, it has various meanings that will need to be solved. Don't think very hard, just change your perspective a little. For X, does that number have any meaning? Actually, doesn't it seem to be the last X is a little big? It seems to have a different meaning from the first 3 X's. What is X? The meaning of math. You guys are really stupid. What? Does that mean you understood the meaning of the dying message? Of course not. There's nothing to understand. This is not a password. It literally points to the killer. What? That was it. What do you mean, literally? Well, first of all, if you don't know, even after telling you this, I'd rather be executed than die. No way, wherever you look, it only reads X. Katakana. Huh? Katakana, word. Think about it. Katakana is... Wait, katakana? Obviously this dying message looks like the letter X at first glance. It's because there's a lot of blood, but from a digital perspective, it really looks like katakana. A letter that reads like an X in katakana. The most familiar one I can see. No, there are many other things you can think other than that. In fact, Japanese can be read differently enough, even if it is written a little skewed. It's not strange for a person on the verge of dying writes with their own blood, but it would be weird if they would write straight. Then, what were you trying to draw in the end? The middle X and the third X, the alphabet X, have long vertical strokes. If X is tilted, it becomes where the vertical stroke is long. If it's long, E? I don't know, man. I'm getting a headache. No way. What this word means is, when I think of katakana, the first X is almost similar to me. I'll give one more hint. The third X has a symbol that seems to be hiding, see? It seems? I can't see anything like that. Look closely. It's buried in the big X next to it. It's hard to see it, because there's a drop of blood in that exact location. I don't know if you say so. Allow me to raise a question to you. Kinjo, your reaction seems to be the reaction after knowing the correct answer. At one point, after listening to Mikado and Kurokawa's words, I came to realize it. It seems like there are some other people who solved it besides me. The identity of the dying message. If you think of it as katakana, the first letter is me, and the last one has a hidden symbol. The second and third are letters with long vertical strokes. The candidates are E and To. When I think about these combinations, I think I can see the answer for sure. Should I believe this answer? No, I have no choice but to accept the result. I have to do it. Person identity, I have to admit it. What are the names again? Kanatai Inoki? Me. There's a me in there. Ito. 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 Me. No one has me in their name. No one has me. Oh, no one else has me in their name. Wait, who the okay. Me Ito. Is it Tomori? Me. Ito me. Ito. Is it Ray? How is it wrong? Is it Teruya? Okay, it's definitely Tomori. I accidentally clicked. Where? What? 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 Excuse me? Is it you? Oh my god! The answer was Akane. The meaning of the dying message. As Kurakawa mentioned, this was a text that could be read as it was in katakana. However, it just looks like the letter X because it's a little bloated. Maeda, do you know the meaning of the dying message? Well, Kurakawa, Mikado, and Kinjo's hint set on. I'll explain to you guys from now on. First of all, the first letter, as everyone guessed, me. This was easy to understand that even if you look at it, you can confuse it a little with an X, right? I think the second is probably May. Made! It's made! And the third letter, it's pretty hard to recognize it, but I was able to guess based on Kinjo's voiceless remarks in the first two letters. Meido. Meido! This one is close to E. If you write along... Oh my god, I'm so dumb! I'm still uncertain that the last big X means, but once you look at this far, it's true that one word comes to mind. Maid. Yes, Meido. Ultimate maid student, Taida Akane. Huh? What do you mean class trial suspended? No, it's not Akane. I'm gonna save. Yeah, resume trial. What the heck? It's not Akane. Taida, among us, the word maid refers to you. Or rather, I can't think of anyone but you. Akane! That's... It's really her. You killed somebody? No, wait a minute. There must be a misunderstanding. I mean, something like this? This is too much. Please wait a minute, everyone. I have nothing. I didn't do anything. The dying message was written by a person. The Lord does not lie. As long as the dying message refers to the word made, it has already been revealed. Was it a lie at the beginning of the trial to cover up her crime? No. Saida, tell me with your own words. Are you really the culprit? I'm not the killer! Akane. Why am I the culprit? The dying message may say the word made, but there's a big X next to it. You guys have only interpreted the made and then interpreted the X after that. That X could literally be an X. Doesn't that mean negative? In other words, it means not the maid, so I'm not the culprit. I mean, she's right. I don't know yet if what Saito said is true, but certainly, as she said, we haven't fully decoded the dying message yet. Okay, the X at the end. Well, if you simply look at it, it really looks like it says not the maid, but if the dying message means not the maid, as Saito says, I would rather be more suspicious of Taida. Why? Don't you think so? Who is the killer? I don't recall seeing messages saying who is not the killer. It seems illogical to write an innocent one in blood by the young victim. Rather, you would think it's not the maid, so take yourself off the suspect list. Hey, doesn't that mean the culprit themselves wrote the dying message? That's right. There's no law saying that dying messages are all true. They can show up in many ways. For example, the killer manipulates the dying message to lead an advantage in a trial. Yeah, maid acts as it is, meaning the only one who would benefit from writing that is not a maid would be the maid herself, Taira. Whether the interpretation of the dying message is this or that, there is no way to avoid the word maid. Akane, you really are. Is Taira really the culprit? Can we conclude the case like this? But what is this feeling? Is it my heart screaming? I feel like all of this, it feels so contradictory. Is it okay to end up with Taira being the culprit? Can I vote now? It would be a bit fun to do any more. It'll just be... I just want to end this quickly. Wait. Kurokawa? Obviously, it's true that Taira was suspicious. Clearly, the way she acted seems questionable. However, there's a problem yet to be solved. An unsolved problem? Wait. Wait! Is it relating to the secret note? Oh my god! Unsolved problem. I do not know. Dying message is also over. What's the point? The secret of the window is over. Soul procurement problem has also been solved. Wait a minute, is there anything left remaining as Kurokawa says? Only for murder, you're thinking. Is it the broken flashlight? Is it broken flashlight? No, this isn't the idea is wrong. I feel like I'm getting sidetracked. Colors have a clue hiding in them. Certainly so far I've been confused about the dying message in the Carter situation. Where's the cloth come from? Broken flashlight. The third flashlight. Right, the third flashlight. Oh my god. The third flashlight. Why was there a third flashlight? That must be it. If it's not this, it's her injury. If for murder, you're thinking. Wait. Cases other than murder. Yes! 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 It's her injury. It's not murder, it's injury. Yeah, right, that's it. Did you find something, Maeda? Guys, I think it's all a little bit early to call Taira the culprit. What? What do you mean? You are the one that said the dying message had the word maid. About that, I still can't conclude for sure. Thanks to Kurokawa, I could think of something actually. Right after the incident, do you all remember Hatano's injury? Of course. Now the trial is coming to an end and Hatano's condition is worsening. Get that in order, okay? Why was Hatano injured? Everyone think about it. Why did she get hurt? You saw it. She was hurt by a wire trap in the leg. Right, think about it. Who installed the wire trap? When does this come into place? I mean, the killer must have installed it. That's it. In other words, your opinion is that the suspected killer, meaning Taira, installed the wire trap, right? Now wait a second. I've never installed anything like that. Why would I aim for Ayame-chan? That doesn't really mean you can't, though. Wait a minute. Taira installed the wire trap? The wire trap is there. But when was it installed? When was your installed? I don't know exactly what's on the wire, but I can guess because I was there when Hatano was injured. Hatano was trying to grab something at the time. The wire just shoved along the way to serve as a bait for it. And the wire must have been installed as soon as the object was placed. Not up just when yeah. When the wire was installed, it was probably immediately after starting the investigation, I believe so. Is there a good reason for that opinion? The wire is not visible, so the exact installation time of the wire itself is unknown. But by other elements, it can be inferred. Actually, Hatono wasn't just hurt. When she was injured, I know I was right next to her. But Hatono was injured by the Hayo while approaching to find and investigate some kind of object, and she got caught in the trap. Hatono, do you remember? Perhaps, are you referring to the burnt flashlight? Yeah, there was no such thing in the corner when I found the body with everyone in the power room, but it was there after. The investigation started. Ah, in other words, the killer used a flashlight as bait to induce someone to get caught in the wire trap. If so... They set the flashlight and installed the wire at the same time, leading after the investigation began. Yeah, it's right after the start of the investigation, right? The wire was installed shortly after the investigation began. Yamaguchi? It's strange. This is weird. Weird. Is it not weird? Why the sudden yelling? Everyone open your eyes and listen. If Tada is the culprit, it means Tada installed the wire right after the investigation started. Yes, but that's impossible. Why, you ask? It's because Tada was with me. You were with Tada? Surely. Then there was a relationship. Can you stop that? Don't put a joke like that at a time like this. Huh? Does that mean... I know this exactly because Saito was in the same place I was, and we didn't do anything. What? How can you say that she didn't do anything so proudly? No, what I mean is, I was going to do some investigation, but I seldom made progress, so... Anyway, that's not what's important, it's not a story. I swear to you, Taira has been stuck in one spot since everyone gathered to the power room until the trial announcement came out. What? Is that for real? Apart from everything else, there was only one spot that was inefficient, even if you did a little investigation. I want to hear why. Why didn't you mention this, Taira? No, it was shocking that Kizune-chan died. Did any of us do that? Even so, everyone participated in the investigation, but that is not a reason. It doesn't really matter. What's more important than that now, Taira didn't do anything at the time of the investigation, meaning she couldn't install the wire, right? Yeah, that's why I said it's weird. Then Taira is not the killer? I mean, I've been trying to say that from the very beginning. But what's called a maid? Are we wrong with the interpretation? It's not just that, Taira lied. She's still suspect no matter how we continue. But when that happens, you can explain the wire trap. What's going on? I think my head will be weird if it gets twisted anymore. Can we stop this already? If you want to die, do it. I won't stop you. It's simply weird. Apart from being simply contradictory, logically explaining itself separately, as if several incidents seem to be a gathering event. Why, what's missing? It's as if the contradictions don't stop to conclude that Taira is the culprit, but there doesn't seem to be any different direction in the case. What is the truth of this case? If Taira isn't the culprit, what have we been doing so far for? You mean it was all good for nothing? But if that's the case then, who is the culprit? Who do we vote for? I can't keep going. We keep hitting dead ends. Even in the midst of this, Hatono's leg injury must be getting worse. Well, I'll say this. Other than Taira, is there not another suspicious person? Who is that? Kurokawa. What? Why Kurokawa? Well, I don't understand it because of the dying message in the wire install, but Kurokawa suddenly disappeared during the investigation. Isn't she suspicious to anyone? Looking at it, the broadcast announcing the start of the class trial rang, but we gathered quite late and Monokuma brought her. Didn't Kinjo mention this? He said that he had main suspects in mind. If Taira, who's been attracting attention as a high-level suspect, is not the culprit, will the other suspect Kurokawa, who is the next suspicious person, naturally be here? No. Wait a second. It is true that Kurokawa was late, but what disappeared during the investigation was investigated by Kurokawa's own way. It was Kurokawa's discovery that the kitchen knife was actually disappeared from the kitchen. But even if she was investigating, why arrive late? I was curious from the start of this trial. I want to know the reason of being late, even if she's not the culprit. Kurokawa, you're not a killer, right? Please answer us. Don't be uneasy.
not the culprit. The reason for being late, I can't tell you now. After the trial, I'll tell you why.
If it was for a good reason, isn't there no reason to hide it? Why can't you tell us? The more you hide it, the more suspicious it gets.
I'm sorry, but trust me, I'm not the killer.
Regardless of the reason, isn't it a little too much to say that Kurokawa is a culprit? She doesn't seem to have anything to do with the dying message. It would have been possible to install the wire, however.
No, but there's no other way. This is impossible. She's impossible. It's all possibilities again.
Who's the killer then? Even if it's a ghost, it's not impossible?
You really are fools without answers.
Shouldn't you be aware of this?
Huh? What do you mean?
What? That's the truth of the case. I told you, didn't I? I said I wouldn't help you people, but once it's a trial with my life at stake, there's no answer, I'll solve it. So in other words, you are idiots with no answer to the extent that I have to come out like this. Damn it, Mikado is destroying us! Mikado's attitude is sarcastic, but I think she knows something. Mikado may give us a clue about the situation that we cannot overcome alone. When you look at the goals for your reasoning, I can see how hard your brains are. To put it simply, you are fools who try to solve the same solution without thinking of any other method when no other problem was solved. Thank you for your kind summary description, but what do you know yourself? If the same method doesn't work, you should know how to challenge it using a new method. Understood, child? But what do you mean by new method? It means throwing away stereotypes. Oh my, when it's so quiet you finally open your mouth, psycho police. Is it not a problem if the best young police officer in Japan gets slower answers than a professor? Doesn't matter, but I guess it's all a competition for you. Let's just say it's not. There's nothing to be gained from this trade.
There's something sparkling between you two. But what's that mean? Stereotypes? To throw it away? Did you both find out something?
I'll apologize first. When the trial happened, I was about to be overthrown by the killer because of the misinterpretation of the case. But I deserve it. I was guessing to some extent, but I didn't think the case would be so twisted. It was twisted? It's natural to say you guys made it public. This case is simple. There's a criminal and that criminal killed the victim. If you try to solve it, there will be contradictions.
Then wait a minute, so this isn't a murder case?
No, it is a murder. It's clearly malevolent, but... Do you recall what I mentioned earlier? An ordinary murder case would be difficult to solve if you think of it as a simple step-by-step scenario. While investigating before the trial, I guessed the outline frame, but at that point I couldn't confirm this either. However, as the trial progressed, Tyra's reactions and the dying message being solved, the truth was reached. To be precise, the riddle that has been solved so far was one that derived from a clue, but what's the truth about it? To put this simply, this crime is not a case where there's one culprit and one victim being mentioned. What? Not one culprit? Not one victim? So you mean there was an accomplice?
But didn't Monokuma say that accomplices had no advantage?
No, it's a bit ambiguous to call it an accomplice. But what is certain is that a third party, other than the criminal, was clearly— Third flashlight! Third party? Who was it? You, bitch! You, Akane! Taira was the third party? Is that different from a culprit or accomplice? For starters, I like to see it as that. As you guys said, if you're a criminal, you have to install a wire trap, but Taira herself couldn't afford it because of Yamaguchi. He also saw Taira stand still during that time. Then Akane no longer needs to be questioned, right? No, wait a minute, I'm really sorry, but I still don't get it. If Taira isn't the culprit, I don't know why the dying message points to the maid. And she even lied to us. That's why I told you, Taira is a third party in this case. What? It's not a culprit, it's different from an accomplice, but it's obviously a third party who is heavily involved in the case. Maybe she's not even aware of it. The woman's personality is showing her heart on her face. It's proof that the maid lied and wrote the dying message, lying to everyone here. It seems by your facial expressions, you don't understand it. Okay, before discussing the real criminal, let's begin with a question about it. That's not a question. That's a non-stop debate. That's not a question. The secret note. Lighter wire trap. The third flashlight! Do I get to use the third flashlight? She's third party. Third flashlight. Third flashlight.
I'm not sure what that means.
Bro, are you dumb? Why is Satsuki so short? According to your reasoning, at first glance, Tada Akane looks like the culprit. But for Tada Akane to put to wire, it's not possible. There's a contradiction. In fact, it's okay to say that your reasoning is the correct answer. A rookie mistake! Someone clean up this mess! Okay. Get out. In the first place, being a third party, doesn't that mean there is a third person besides the criminal and the victim? Yes! 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 Third flashlight! Let's go! Third flashlight. Third flashlight. Third flashlight. I love the third flashlight. No, wait! There was evidence of 3 people involved in the crime.
What would that be?
A flashlight, of course. There was one more flashlight. What do you mean there was one more? Hatano, that flashlight you were trying to pick up.
Oh, that's why Hatano had your leg on the wire. That flashlight, right?
But what does it mean when you say 3 was... There was more? I think there were some people who haven't seen it. Let me tell you, in the Switchium, there were 2 broken flashlights. By the way, Maeda, other than those 2, the third flashlight. On the day the second floor was open, everyone saw it while investigating, right? It's a dark place where the switch didn't light up. Without a flashlight, nothing is visible. In fact, if somebody died there, would have been something to do with the Switchium, and in that case, she must have brought a flashlight. So one of the 3 flashlights would have to be the one Tomori brought. And if you don't see anything, murder is not possible. It means that the culprit killed Tomori inside the Switchium, and the culprit also took a flashlight. So the second flashlight was brought by the killer.
Huh? Hey, wait a minute.
Who is the owner of the third flashlight? Akane. That's right, Maeda explained it very well. The Switchium is not a known place, and there's nothing visible, so naturally you expect to carry a flashlight in order to go there. Even if I went, I would need my flashlight back once I'm done with my business. There's no reason to leave it behind. Wasn't this the aftermath of a struggle between the criminal and Tomori? One moment, isn't that just by reasoning alone? Unless there's 0% chance that someone forgot it and left it in the past, it wouldn't be clear. No, Uehara, there's evidence that all the 3 flashlights were involved in the incident. As Kinjo said, 2 flashlights were broken, and the last one, it was burned. Correct, it's a flashlight before it got caught in fire. It's the flashlight that was on the scene. Now you realize? Is there any fool who still doesn't understand? According to your inference, the fact that the case involved 3 people was the adequate basis of this case.
I had no idea.
You must not have known. Probably the killer tried to use Taira.
Really? What does that mean?
We've come this far, so I wonder if it's okay to reveal it. I called Taira a third party, but this doesn't mean that you simply witnessed or helped the killer. What is it then? How Taira was involved in this incident. By this time, everyone might have noticed. Not the culprit, but the executioner. Is it appropriate to call them like this? Eh? My exact reaction! What's an executor? No way that fits Taira stabbing Tomori. I guess he didn't even do it? That's right. There's a criminal who killed her breath with a critical hit, but it was probably Taira who made Tomori moribund. Oh, what now? What?
That's a lie. Taira did... Kinjo, wait a minute.
Hey, don't you know what I'm talking about? Taira Akane. You're also a criminal who committed attempted murder, you bloody bitch. What? No, wait a second. What is this so suddenly? Hey, is Taira the executioner? What's wrong, Kobashikawa? You said you couldn't admit that Taira wasn't the culprit? No, rather than being able to admit it, but why did Taira... yeah, I don't know what it means that there's another criminal who inflicted a critical hit even though she was an executioner in the first place, and I can believe that Akane did this. If you dishonor Akane without a compelling reason, I cannot forgive you.
That's right, Taira would never do something like that.
It's starting again. Didn't people say that they can't know just by looking at them? All you think Taira Akane is not one to do that, after all. You just don't know enough about her.
But why didn't you tell me why would Taira stop Tomori to the verge of death?
How did that happen? You've already let that go, didn't you? Why? We let her go? You don't mean... Yes, the evidence that Taira Akane personally injured Tomori Kizuna. Exactly what you suspect. A dying message pointing to the maid. Taira Akane's suspicious lie. But why wasn't the culprit of the direct murder? Oh my god, can you speak correctly? That was also solved by you. Simple, isn't it? That woman didn't have time to install the wire. What? Everyone looks like you can understand. Sorry, but besides this, there is evidence that Taira Akane committed a murder attempt. Well, is there any other evidence? No, Kinjo is right. There's evidence I can only think of. Maeda, even you? Why? I like to think that, but as Kinjo says, it's all true. I knew it too. If you look at the scene of the incident, there were traces of others who couldn't exist. That trace was probably left by Tara. According to the image in my memory, there's one definite clue. Okay. This, right? It's here. Okay. Trace left by the killer. It's the cloth. Isn't it? Wait. The flashlight? I don't think it's here. Then... Oh my god! What? It's the cloth. No. Hold on. It was the fucking blood. How did I forget that? Remember what we discussed earlier about why the killer started the fire? The fire was used to heat the glass window and break it remotely. And to make his thing, the killer was inside the switch him and smashed the glass to escape, right? Yeah, and in fact, we almost got caught in that trap and confused our reasoning. Now we're talking about why Tyre was involved in the case. Think carefully. If the killer's purpose was to make us think they broke the glass, why is there a blood spot at the entrance? Bloodstain? At the entrance? Is that so? A bloodstain like walking out of the switch him. That's evidence from a third party that's different from the criminal's intentions. Was that from a struggle? Maybe it's just somebody's blood? If somebody went out of the switch room while bleeding, the power room outside should have been filled with blood spots, don't you think so? Does that mean the blood spot was after coming out of the switch room because it was dark then? There were 2 broken flashlights inside the switch room. If it were broken during a struggle, you wouldn't know that blood would splatter in the dark after you stopped somebody. Well, then the blood traces come from Akane? Wait a minute, after the killer attacked somebody, they could have set off the fire after walking out towards the entrance without knowing that the blood was on it, right? In this way, there's no room for Taira to intervene. Inori, I'm sorry, but that's also impossible. The one who killed somebody by killing her definitely probably didn't splash a drop of blood on their body. Yeah, because, yeah, that tool was... Finally! Actually, there was a piece of cloth covered in blood in the corner of the switch room. Bloody! You saw 2 dead bodies. This is... Right, anyone planning a murder must be concerned about the bleeding. Probably they used it on Tomori, without a drop of blood on your own body. If the real culprit uses it and murders somebody, there is no reason for a blood smear on the entrance. What? Didn't she really... Are you saying Akane stopped Tomori? I can't believe it. Why did Tyra do that? Tyra, no matter what you did in the end, there is a separate real criminal who directly killed somebody other than you. You're not treated as a real criminal in this trial. If you admit to the crime, you won't be executed. So tell me with your own mouth, did you really do it, and why? Yeah, why did she do it? I'm sorry. Sorry? Are you sorry? Then it's really true? You guys are right. I'm the one... I stopped Kizuna-chan. What? I'm not particularly sympathetic, but I'm curious. Why did you do that? Kizuna-chan. No, Tomori Kizuna. Because she was a human being who had no choice but to die. What are you talking about? It was Saida herself that must have ended Tomori, wasn't it? I'm sorry. It's just, in case I was found out, I just made an excuse and got scared. That must have been it, actually. You seem to believe that you were the real culprit. But I want you to believe in this. I never decided to kill and stop Kizuna-chan. What does that mean? You didn't stop with murder intention, but after that remark you seem to despise somebody. Well, I'll tell you what happened. Let me give you an explanation. I'm not sure about Mikado Uehara. But the day after the motives came out, we all went to persuade Kizuna-chan. Actually, Kizuna-chan was also in loneliness, and she tried to convince herself because she knew it deep down. I finally opened my heart to Kizuna-chan, and we hugged, and I finally thought we became friends truly. But that evening, Kizuna-chan had something to talk about, so she called me to the searchium. I took a flashlight and went there. Kizuna-chan, are you here? Right here, Taira. Kizuna-chan, I know you wanted to talk about something, but why in such a dark place? Yeah, no one's coming here, right? Oh no, I don't think so. So, what do you wanted to talk about? Yeah, that's right. I'm too scared now. What? Scared? Why? You know the motives given by Monokuma, remember? Our secrets are written in there. It seems like you all threw it away, but I got no clue whose I stumbled upon it in the trash. Someone's secret, do you want to see? First look at the contents. What is this? Yuki Maeda may actually know the identity of the mastermind. What? Maeda, is that true? No, I'm just a normal student. You're not lying, right? You're not actually playing with us while you know about them, do you? Stop it! Stop it! No, it's not the time to reproach each other. Yeah, the message is surprising, but it is urgent we hear Taira's testimony. Taira, resume at once. Okay. I can't trust Yukun as long as I see that. It's just not that. Knowing the mastermind, they might play with us and try to kill us later. No, Maeda wouldn't do that. Pause. You don't know people by just looking at them. Mitsuhiro-kun did the same, remember? Then, what do you want to do, even if you tell the others? No, that's not the case. Then, we can kill him, with our own hands. What? The reason I called you is actually this. Aren't you close to Yukun? Wouldn't you be able to stake him out? You know what you're talking about? Listen, I have a good idea. You can only help me, otherwise, how can I kill Yukun without being noticed by someone? First of all, I brought the preparations, the fused lighter, and finally is a knife. Once you pick up Yuki-kun and call him somewhere, I'll stab him with a knife. I'm not talking about that. I asked if you were serious. If you kill, you'll die in a trial. That's when the killer is so stupidly caught. Did you forget that the only way to get out from here is to murder someone? So first help me. If our murder is successful, I'll help you. What do you think? Let's get out, together. Are you crazy? Why do I want to murder? What? Don't you want to get out of here? I want to go out, but doing that at the expense of another's life. That's it then. I'm the only one who wants to go outside more than anyone here. I'm not a human being who will run this place. Why should I? A bright future awaits me once I get out of this place. Actually, I got everything ready after those 2 days from the previous class trial. I also bought these shields early today. I'm going to kill this traitor. Wouldn't be less guilty to kill a bad guy, right? You better think and join me here. What are you saying? Being prepared for a murder since the second day? Then you didn't open up to us. Huh? Oh my god, the stupid bitch. Of course I was acting. Do you think I'm gonna go and fall for that crappy event? I can't. Alright, so you just do what I tell you to do. Know that you are lucky that I choose you. Please bring Yuki-kun here by tomorrow morning. No, I hate it.
Why should I help murder? And I can't believe that Monokuma is such an evil person. That's obviously Monokuma's lie. Anyway, I'm not going to help you. And Kizuna-chan, please wake up and don't do this if you are with us. I'm sure we can find a way. Oh, okay, you... What? Well, I didn't expect you to cooperate from the start with the murder, because you didn't. I have to change the target as planned. What are you... Oh. Hey, Kizuna-chan? You dodged that. Why are you doing this, Kizuna-chan? Why are you asking? I'm trying to kill you. Kizuna-chan? You already knew I was going to kill, remember? I can keep you alive. It's a pity that you can't kill Yuki Maeda, but it doesn't matter if you can't get out of here. Someone, save me! Is that true? Somebody tried to kill Akane first? Even so, before the motives came out, she just made up her mind to kill someone, and all the appearances she showed us were an act? Yeah, Tomori Kizuna was that kind of person. So, you felt in danger of your own life and attacked Tomori in self-defense. Oh no, that's not right. Listen, I didn't really intend to stab Tomori in self-defense or any of the sort. Then why did you? Tomori ran to kill you. What happened after that? I noticed that Kizuna-chan was serious, and I was too scared. I tried to run for it. Then I was pushed down by Kizuna and fell over. I tried to resist somehow, and the flashlights we were holding broke each other. That was when the two broken flashlights were broken in the switch-yam. I couldn't see anything because of the flashlight broken, and I was right next to Kizuna-chan with a knife. I was really scared and tried to resist with my whole body. Honestly, I think it was pure luck that I didn't get hit with the knife. By the way, suddenly Kizuna-chan at one point became really quiet, and that's when I took my chance to get out of the switch-yam. You got out? Okay, you stopped Tomori Kizuna while resisting without knowing it. When I look at my hands in a wet place, I see a lot of blood. There's a lot of red on my clothes. I got in a panic, didn't look behind me, got out of the power room and ran to the bathroom to wipe the blood. So that's what happened? I was wiping it with water until the smell of blood was washed away, and then the announcement came out. I thought Kizuna-chan was the one whom I stabbed was found, so my vision became white. After that, when I went to the powder room, there was a fire for some reason, and the switch-yam was all messed up. Other than yourself, there was someone else who touched the scene of the crime. Did you think it was you who killed her? That's not it. What happened was... That's how the events are connected. This is all I know about the case. I never meant to stop Kizuna-chan with evil intentions. Whatever the reason, good or bad. Once you look at the results, they are Taira Akane stopped Tomori Kizuna. This is a fact. You cannot change its meaning for whatever reason you might say. But you said I wasn't the culprit! Yes, you just stabbed her, like I said. There's another killer who caused the fire and the final blow. If this trial settles safely, it will be the real criminal, not you, who's going to be executed. So, your sentence will be laid aside after the trial is over. Don't think you'll just go over it. No, wait a second. It still was an accident, wasn't it? Besides, if Tomori hadn't been stabbed, then Taira would have died. That's right. Don't be too forceful with her. Taira herself is more distressed than anyone else. I'm sorry. Hey, second to the fact that it was a crime or forced assault, the trial isn't over yet, right? Now that we know the case, we need to find a true culprit, so let's not get excited just yet, children. Fine, let's talk about this later, because the trial is the most important thing right now. Akane, don't blame yourself too much, because in the end you survived. For the most part, I think it's best outcome that Akane lived. Isn't it important to be alive? Ayame-chan. Thank you. Now then, let's organize the case based on Taira's words. Somebody tried to plan a killing a few days ago, and she called Taira to the switch-yam to plan her crime with her, and tried to kill Taira in the process. But her plan failed, she died. This is the whole story of the case. Hey! You stay still. There's a bit of mental ferocity in there. Now then, let's do a little summary. First, the number of people involved in this case are 3. One is the victim, Kizuna Tomori. The next person is a criminal who has not been identified yet. And the last one is the third party, Taira Akane. Tomori, who wanted to leave here as soon as possible, planned a murder before even the motives came out. Her rebellion was just an excuse for Tomori.
and for the first time she attempted to make Taira join forces in this crime. If Tommy worked with someone, it would have been easy for her to escape, but Taira refused, as expected. She tried to get rid of Taira, the one who heard her plan and left no traces behind.
However, the attack missed, and in return there was an accident where the knife ended up stabbing Tamari while tangled up in the dark. Taira was surprised that she stabbed her, and then she went to the bathroom. But when she heard the announcement that the body was found, she went back to the power room, and there were things like the fire that she hadn't even done, so Akane was confused about that time. So then, in the end, the killer made use of Taira's talent and put the blame on her in order to make his vote for her. Yeah, there were 3 people involved, so the case was complicated as it is. By the way, no matter what happened this far, this would mean that she's not the culprit of this case, right? But then, who is the real culprit? The true culprit's identity. Ah! Idanami, what is it? Did you figure something? No, it's just amazing that Kurokawa is just very active in participating in the conversation.
Are you serious?
I have to say, there are already hints about the real culprit.
What? Who is it? Really? Who is it? In general, there is no one who does not have a noticeable alibi other than Taira. In other words, it is possible for anyone to commit the crime. However, there's only one of us who has led all the situations to their advantage. Yes, and very precisely, may I add. Is there something like that? Who on earth?
Surely it's not Taira?
There's someone who has taken advantage of the circumstances of the case with too ridiculous timing. That could be simply a coincidence at first glance. Think about it. The fire was not caused by Taira. Then obviously, the real culprit set the fire. But don't you think there's something amiss? When you leave a fire, the corpse would need to be burned, and you don't know when it could be found. But Hatano actually found it. Yes, Hatano found it. Well, if that's the case, the wire matters too. Even if you install a wire trap as bait for a burned flashlight in the corner, there's a possibility that no one will find it and it could end up just there, right? But it didn't because... Huh? Isn't something a little weird? What does the sighting between the fire and the wire have in common? If you think about it, you will see the answer. The person who led all situations to their own advantage. The person who led the case so that they could solve it on their own accord. The only person in doubt. They are strong enough to instigate most of the incident. The first time they noticed the fire and the wire trap. No, why? I have to stop thinking about that. The main thing is that they did the job. Okay. If you don't find the truth, then we all lie. Girl, why? Girl, why? As Kinjo says, there was only one person. Only someone who could move the situation to their advantage. That person is Hatano. You. What? Huh? No, what are you? Maeda, did you get tired? The culprit was the one who hurt Hatano's leg. But what if Hatano's the culprit? She was aiming her own leg? Nonsense. It would be more reliable to say that I'm the one crazy. That is quite true. But please don't mess with us, Maeda-kun. No matter what, Ayame Chan being the culprit is... That's right, Kinjo, don't stand still to say something. Maeda seems to be losing it now. No, that accompanied made a very precise reasoning, don't you agree? The culprit is Ayame Hatano. She must be. I'm not exactly denying it, but I don't have a clear picture. Can you at least clarify why you believe so? It's because of a few reasons Hatano is suspect. The true culprit of this case is not strange to any of us. The reason is because Taira pulled the ceremony of the incident, and the killer was only a light maneuver in the scene. All of our alibis were also in the dark, and there was contradictions no matter who you put as a killer. However, that's why Hatano's behavior was even more natural. What are you talking about? I swear, he doesn't speak right. The killer made an alibi trick by building a fire and finishing Tamari herself, in which Taira couldn't. Until here, everyone understands, right? Then here, who was the first to discover the fire? What do you think? That was Hatano? But there's no way to call someone a culprit with just that. You shut up, second-hand killer. It's not just that. And even though the corpse was found, the killer installed a wire trap as if aiming at someone. And who was the person who discovered this first? That was also Hatano. Now think. At best, she made an alibi trick if someone else finds it first. There will be too many dangerous variables. But if you set a fire, you can create the best situation you want. Are you referring to the situation where the criminal themselves is putting off the fire with other people? That's right, because the original purpose of the killer's fire was to break the glass and heat it to make someone think that a person escaped. If the killer was with other people in that situation, they could have their own alibi. Well, it's a crappy trick, so I didn't even doubt it from the beginning. In addition, Hatano would have had enough time to install the wire. Listening to Taida's story, Tomari brought all these tools. So you can use them in the arms of the dead, Tomari.
Then, no, but Ayumi-chan... Well, there must be something wrong with that. I mean, it could be a coincidence. Hatano is a culprit just like that?
Why is the person who is picked up being silent, but the others are noisy? Hey, why are you being quiet? Are you exercising your right to remain silent? Or do you think this is a joke? Yeah, it's just that it's so absurd that you've left me speechless. I'm still standing here and I'm being treated as a criminal.
I mean, this isn't funny, Ayame-chan. You can't be the culprit.
Oh? Anything to object then? Of course, you don't seem to realize it yet. I'll tell you why you can be the killer. What are the bullets? Why can't you be the culprit? Okay, it looks like you guys are missing one thing in particular. Tomorrow's time of death. Do you remember it? Time of death? Was it not specified in Monokuma file?
Ah, correct. 9:30 p.m. It's at around that time, right?
Huh? Isn't that weird? I was putting the fire with Kinjo and the others. Actually, that's true. Oh my god. So what happened? Somebody might have told someone to meet me and she was stopped and surprised. That time she was still dead. I didn't see anyone. I can't be the culprit. Excuse me? Yeah, it's okay. Can't you be the culprit? Blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Time of death. Kinji, you're so sus. Was it not specified? I mean, it was. Isn't that weird? Yeah, it's weird. I feel like that's true. I mean, if he says so. So what happened? Yeah, that's not true. She wasn't stopped in surprise. That's just dumb. I don't know. Is that really so? What? Is this your opinion, Hatano? Because the time of death is 9:30 p.m. The culprit killed Tomori by stopping Tomori at 9:30 p.m. Of course, somebody's death is a stabbed neck as a reminder. It must have been an instant death at the moment. But that's not the case. Huh? Even if you argue that Hatsuno's words are true at first glance after putting some consideration, the circumstances, the time, the killer was not already inside the Tsushima. That is right, you have no choice but to. This is probably solved earlier, right? From the time the fire started to ignite, somebody must have been stabbed by her knife. Yeah, otherwise her alibi trick of breaking a window remotely would be meaningless. But then, what happened to Tomori's time of death? No matter how much you think about it, Tomori's death at 9:30 p.m. makes no sense. Everyone listen carefully. From here on out, the reasoning behind this is a little mixed, meaning perhaps somebody, before Hatano discovered the fire, it may have been already around 9 o'clock with a knife on her neck. What? Super grotesque. That's far-fetched, Maeda. Are you really thinking about it? Are you able to prove that a human being can live for 30 minutes with a throat pierce? I don't really believe it either, but I'm not saying this for no reason. There's evidence that Tomori survived that long. The first thing... yeah. Me? That was when Yunori was investigating, wasn't it? Remember what she said to me after examining Tomori's body? Yeah, too much bleeding. Yeah, her heart was still beating. Think about it. Around 9:30, Tomori just had a knife on her neck. If she died when we found it, the blood would not have been spread out. Of course, when he discovered it, there was still a little bit bleeding. But most of this started to harden, and it is natural to say that such a deep liquid had been flowing after 9:30. That makes sense, but Maeda, did you forget? Tomori's wound is not just the neck. Could it have flowed out of a stomach wound? Of course it is possible, but there's another proof that says she's been alive for a long time after being stabbed by the neck. Yeah, she modified the dying message. The reason is because of the dying message. Dying message? Didn't that story end earlier, pointing to the maid word? Yes, but when I came back to it, I could see something I didn't see before. There was a big X after the word. Maid? That meaning is correct, as we guessed before. Not the maid. Come to think of it, was it written by Tomori? I thought Taito worded it as a self-act. It was the reason we found it in my message. I mentioned this before, but after seeing the blood, I just went to the bathroom right away. I couldn't afford to think about that. Yeah, it's not Taito. It's likely the former idea. Tomori wrote the word maid in her own blood to let us know. If that's the case, why is there an X next to it? It wasn't the criminal's own doing, but the reason the victim herself adds an X and why it's not the maid. Ah, I see. She tried to correct the dying message, as she wrote maid because there was another person who stabbed her on the neck while she was writing the letters. Yes, if Tomori died immediately as soon as her throat was cut, there wouldn't be a correction of the dying message, as she would have been left out of strength to muster. But even after being stabbed in the neck, her will still was living as much as being able to correct the message with all of her strength, while holding a knife on her throat. Ugh. How Tomori had a cut throat and was alive that much, I don't know. But the things I said now prove that Tomori was still alive under these conditions. Therefore, even if Tomori's time of death was 9:30, there's no evidence that you can say that you are incapable of committing this crime. It can't be. This is a lie. Ayame-chan? Really? This is such a ridiculous story about being alive with a stabbed neck. Ayame-chan, please say something. It's hard to believe, but humans are creatures that sometimes achieve phenomena beyond. It happens sometimes even in terror scenes. Nothing strange at all. What? Then, Hatano, are you really the culprit? I think she is, bro. They've been at it for so long. I don't know why Hatano did this. If my reasoning was wrong, it would be really weird, but there are many situations. The more I think Hatano is the culprit, the more it fits. Hatano, let me hear it from your own voice. The truth. Oh! Kanata!
Wait, I can't tolerate that Hatano is culprit. It's unacceptable. Inori, I know it's hard to believe. I can't believe it either. So if you look at Hatano's actions... suspicious. There's a reason it wasn't suspicious. I'll let you know why Hatano is not the culprit. 2 remedial shutdowns? Does this mean Kanata is gonna die? In the next chapter? Because he's gonna, Anyway, you have any idea? You really think so? Wait, her injury was to the back of the thigh. Her injury was to the back of the thigh. Her injury was to the back of the thigh. Her injury was to the back of the thigh. No, that's not it. Okay. You don't need to tell me. Okay. That was to the back of the thigh. I found it weird. Is that gonna be relevant? You know, I'm sorry, but there is another evidence that Hatano is the culprit. You know, the argument is clever. The culprit wouldn't hurt themselves, right? Of course, isn't it? If you're the killer, you're not supposed to aim for yourself. What if it was a calculated thing doing this thought? What? What are you talking about, Maeda? Surely you don't mean... If you're a criminal, you can never hurt yourself. What if you're doing a self-play to deliberately draw out that thought? Otherwise, there is no gain for a killer to install the wire. They ended up murdering and finishing the process, but after that, when they installed the wire and named it someone, it only adds suspicion. There's no benefit from it for the killer. Something. Maybe there was a reason to put there, isn't there? That's right. I'm sure there is. That's why Yamachan is not the culprit, and that's not the only thing. Even if the killer had some reason, they installed wires to target someone. Even so, how exactly do you intend to cut the leg tendon? Or to cut the leg tendon? Our stride length and calf size are all different. Oh. That's... Hey, cutting the tendon may not have been the purpose. Ayame-chan suffered a fatal injury because of bad luck. If that's the case, I wouldn't install the wire. You don't need to use wires while holding at risk your future. Then, I was aiming at Ayame-chan from the start, so I installed the wire exactly in the position of Ayame-chan's tendon. How do you know that? Is it difficult to know the position of a tendon without prior knowledge, but you install it while calculating the drop to trip over? The only one of us who has that knowledge is the surgeon, Inori. Her own legs, at the same time, who knows more about the muscles of athletes than Hatano herself? That she can't be... Inori, Hatano was never caught in a trap because of bad luck. She was caught in a trap because she installed it. She was able to produce such a perfect tendon cutting accident. Oh, that was pretty good. It's really her. Why did Hatano... Well, I'm the one who saw Hatano's wound. I can't believe that she made a wound so full of evil intention. Ayame can't be the culprit. I'd rather be the culprit, even if I'm executed, only for Ayame-chan. I can't believe it either. I wish it was all a lie. I wish it was all dreams. I wish my reasoning had been turned into a mess and wake up from this nightmare. Is this how everything ends up? You can see like that. Overall, I have the same opinion as Maeda, but I want to hear at least a confession from her mouth, because I have to make sure. Well, it's too late to argue at this point. I am a Hatano. Can I take your vote of silence as your affirmation of your crime and end this already? Wait, not Ayame-chan. It can't be her. After all, it was me who stopped Tomori. I'm the one who gets executed. I'd rather do that. Ayame-chan is innocent. Akane doesn't have to be executed. Ayame-chan. And, of course, not me either. Ayame-chan! Going to try a last act, huh? It's not that. Just want to survive with Akane and leave this place. That's it. Your crime is already logical and there's nothing wrong. Do you think force will work? I'm not convinced. If I'm the culprit, you haven't proved it without a doubt yet. Isn't a trial supposed to be won after you convince the criminal to admit their defeat? You fool. What are you even going to do? Does anyone know any evidence to satisfy the killer who talks like that? It doesn't matter if I tell you, but wouldn't it be less fun? What a slacker. It's a trial, and you have to take it seriously, I tell you. It's all over anyway. I have to play around while watching this futile struggle. But there's no mysteries to solve anymore. What are you planning to do now? Even if you say that, Ayame-chan's words assume what if. Ayame-chan is not saying that the culprit. Nevertheless, it's hard. That's what she said. Okay, then let's reorganize the case from the beginning. Then we may notice if something was missed. Let's go ahead. Go? Where are we going? Stay still, you crazy big guy. They're all so dumb. One more. Definite proof to convince her tonight. I think there's... yeah, okay. Yeah, we know. Ayame is the culprit. No. Terminating talk shooting. That's not what it's called. Okay. Damn it. I couldn't break the rebuttal, but if it doesn't break through... let's try again. Oh my god! Just let me try again. Oh my god, okay. Okay, you can hurt yourself with... fix it. Thigh tendon, left side cut. You can hurt yourself without being grazed. There, the killer was self-inflicted. Thigh tendon, left side cut. Left side thigh tendon cut. First, I want to ask Inori just to be sure. To me? Of course, why did Hatano say she was injured? Her thigh, more precisely, left side wide leg laceration caused by a hamstring injury, although... Hey Maeda, why are you asking this for all of a sudden while dealing with me? Are you giving up? Inori, that hamstring refers to a muscle that is important in keeping the leg straight, right? Where exactly is the location of the muscle? Right. It's one of the three places that connects the hip with the leg. To put it simply, it is a muscle that is widely distributed. In the back of the leg, that's it. But in the back of the leg. Hey, don't talk about anything that doesn't matter, Maeda. Since Ayame-chan is innocent, there's no more room for refutation anymore. No, this is important. Very important, in fact. Inori's words just had a decisive clue that Hatano is the culprit. Huh? Everyone heard that what Hinori said, right? Hatano's injury is on the back muscle of the left thigh. Yeah, the back. But then why did Hatano go forward to pick up a flashlight and the back of the thigh end up hurt? Right, that's what I've been saying! What? Oh, it's true. I only cared that Hatano was hurt. I didn't think it was suspicious, but it's weird when you think about it. She stumbled forward, but she got hurt on the back of her leg. That's not his name. Even if I fall back, my nose breaks. But I guess this doesn't matter now. I can't think of any other reason but one. Hatano, from the very beginning, on her own volition, she was caught deliberately in the trap to inflict a wound as fatal as possible. Oh my god! Then it means that it was just entirely self-inflicted? Really? I don't know why you did that, but it may have been to pretend to be a victim and to be less suspicious, is my guess. That can't... No, there's gotta be a mistake. Hatano? I wish I was lying. Why? This is a choice if you want to get out of the game, and just lie. Why don't we make a conclusion now? I wasted enough time, and I'm getting tired of various factors, such as the vitality of the cockroach of Taira Agane and Tomori Kizuna, although I believe it's all over now. No! Something is wrong. Ayame-chan wouldn't do this. I mean that. Ayame-chan was never the type to kill. The person who is driven as a criminal is still there. Why are you upset? You just stay put. Taira, it's really hard to accept, but we have to accept the conclusions we've drawn, otherwise nothing will end, and nothing will begin. Now then, finally let's do a final summary of all the events thus far, so that everyone can accept the answers we have presented. So everyone can choose. Climax no, begin the climax, oh my god. Okay. Yeah, how do I... Okay, Taira wasn't... Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Then she was shocked. That's not where she tripped. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Then... Yeah. The start of this case begins after the first trial ends and the second floor opens. It was a late night on the second day after she got out. At this point, there was someone who stopped by the antique shop for a purpose. She got some tools from the antique shop. The tools she brought this time were the fuse, lighter, flashlight. Surprisingly, this person's identity was Tomori, who was also the victim of this incident. Now we know, but Tomori has been planning the murder this whole time. Yeah, even before we shared our motives. All of the tools she picked up earlier were tools that Tomori had procured in advance for those in a murder. As a result, she died, and the real culprit of this case was the one who used the tools that she had prepared. However, on the morning of the third day, Otori, who stopped by the antique store every time, must have noticed that some items have already been missing. Sadly, he didn't tell us because he thought it was a simple mistake and would have created confusion. So, without anyone knowing, Tomori's murder plan proceeded slowly, and then Monokuma gave us the motive. As everyone knows, his motive was a note with our secrets, but it was a joke that nobody cared about. But only Tomori was different. Tomori thought she could use this motivational note, so she decided to add a step to her original plan. That's right, me. It was an operation to use the secret note of Yuki Maeda to capture Taira and join forces. Tomori
Taira to come to the switch gym alone, and Taira headed to that place without any doubt. Taira may seem a little petty, but in fact she wasn't actually swayed. Tomori expected this to happen, and after the second day onwards, by acting weak, she wanted to weaken our boundaries. The appearance of being lonely, the appearance of hesitation, the appearance of accepting us with tears. It was only a fake scene to kill even a little more smoothly. That's the true nature of Tomori Kizuna. We were all fooled by Tomori. Taira, at the time, she wasn't wary of Tomori at all, so she went to the dark switch gym. There, Tomori showed Taira a secret note and revealed a plan to kill me. Taira said that Tomori picked up a secret note that someone discarded from the trash can. It was written like this: Yuki Maeda may actually know the identity of the mastermind. Of course, this is not true, because I don't know who the mastermind is. But in order to kill me without pretext, she needed Taira's help. Tomori tried to get Taira out like that. But Taira didn't follow Tomori's words. No matter what, murder shouldn't be done by anyone. When things didn't work out as intended, Tomori gradually began to reveal her nature. When Taira refused, she couldn't let Taira leave, the only one who had heard the murder plan. So instead, Tomori changed the target. The one who she expected to refuse her was decided to be killed in front of her. Tomori ran into Taira without warning, but luckily, Taira avoided the first strike. Taira panicked by Tomori's sudden attack. Taira tried to run away, but she was pushed by Tomori and fell. Then she tried to resist Tomori, swinging a knife right in front of her nose. In the process, the flashlights that Taira and Tomori had were broken by a struggle in the switch gym, which lost its only light. They were struggling in the deep darkness. Several minutes continued during this fierce encounter, but at some point the struggle suddenly ended. I don't know why Tomori became quiet, but Taira, who was in danger of her life, decided to leave the switch gym because she wanted to get out of this situation. The first thing that Taira found out when she got out of the dark switch gym in a bright spot was the intense color of blood. Taira only saw the blood on her body. Of course, it wasn't her own blood, and instinctively realized that she had stabbed Tomori in the middle of the struggle without even knowing herself. Taira, who was shocked in fear and horror of her head, went to the bathroom. She thought about washing the blood quickly from her. But looking at Taira like this, the culprit perhaps found out what she had done. It is not clear whether or not they saw Taira in person, but the killer must have found Tomori within that short time after Taira left the powder room. If someone other than the culprit in this case discovered Tomori, they might have saved Tomori by calling Inori, but the culprit in this case didn't have that thought in mind at all. Act? Not act? Okay. In any case, the culprit who noticed the situation in the switch gym must have found Tomori in a dying state caused by Taira. Tomori tried to target Taira, but she was forced to act, as she did not die immediately. The reason for this can be found in the dying message she wrote. Tomori, realizing that she was going to die, wrote on the floor with her own blood to let us know the identity of the killer, who stabbed her, not maid, in other words, to refer to the ultimate maid student Taira. The thought that passed by the killer's mind so far was not thinking of telling everyone to save Tomori. The thought of killing Tomori was that she couldn't breathe just so they would blame the wrong person. For them, the killer committed a terrible act that was hard to think of as a human being. In order to give a certain final blow, they first pulled out a knife stuck in Tomori's stomach. It was already cruel enough to do this, however. They aimed the knife again at Tomori, just to put it back on her neck. In the process, blood spurted like a fountain, but the killer was wearing a piece of cloth about the size that could cover them, preventing the blood from splattering them. In contrast to Taira, who stabbed Tomori in an accident intentionally, you can see that it was extremely premeditated crime.
That's how Tomari lost her strength to live. Tomari thought about killing, of course, and even tried to kill Taira. Still, did she have to die so badly? Either way, the culprit who succeeded in killing Tomari through a fatal wound now was starting a backup operation. First, the killer installed a fuse drawing a line around the walls of the switchium. I don't know where Tomari originally intended to use it, but they used the tools somebody had. In the end, since somebody prepared the tools, the killer themselves couldn't be suspected of this act. In actuality, we had a pretty hard time figuring out who brought the tools because of this. The fuse was installed mainly on the glass window, as to not burn equipment as much as possible, and then lit it with a lighter. The lighter was originally brought by Tomori, and the reason the glass was made to break automatically was because when the temperature inside the switchium becomes hot after a certain period of time, using the temperature difference between indoors and outdoors, while the criminal themselves was with the others. If they heard the cracking sound, as long as they made them think someone inside the switchium broke the glass, the killer had the perfect alibi. This was the unusual structure of the switchium, and the glass window was cleared. It was possible because of the characteristics of the room, but this trick wasn't that meticulous. No one noticed the fire when the fire was being made. It was a futile trick, so the killer put the plan into action than anyone else. After completing the installation of the fuse, the criminal reported the fact that the fire with a loud voice as if they were the fire discoverer. Some of the people who heard the sound came to the front of the switchium as the culprit intended. Those who heard the killer's voice at the time were Kinjo, Mikado, and Uehara, those three people. At this point, three people who had not yet known that a murder had occurred decided to extinguish the fire first without even dreaming that they were with the killer. Even the killer came with a fire extinguisher from the hallway and started to extinguish the flames. But then, to us, to the killer, to anyone, something unimaginable happened. Tomori, who must have had her throat pierced with a kitchen knife, was still alive. It's strange enough to say that it's a contradiction when you think about it in general, but Tomori, the victim, was holding on to the thread-like lifeline. And Tomori used all of her last string. She corrected the dying message that Road made, with a large X next to it. In other words, it was telling it as this, not to mate. I would like the killer's name instead, but just an X with the shorts. It was already an incredible feat to do so. After correcting the dying message, Tomori's life was gone, bleeding because her heart was beating. Until then, the amount of blood increased more than that of an ordinary person, and thanks to that, we could prove Tomori was still alive. Of course, that would have been fatal for the killer. Yes, originally, only looking at the words made put Taira in doubt. She could have done it, but because the X was left remaining for no reason, the elaborate plan was doomed to fail. Tomori, even though she tried to kill and she couldn't be forgiven, she acted. At the end of the day, she was trying to tell us the correct answer with all of her strength. And the situation goes back to the power room. When the fire was put off and the setup was almost completely staged, suddenly hearing the sound of glass breaking inside the switchium. This was done in the best conditions intended by the killer. Thanks to this, everyone thought someone inside the switchium broke the glass. Everything was the way the killer wanted. The killer who was on the scene at the time. I would imagine they had a smile of satisfaction. Bro, don't imagine stuff like that. The three of them, except Uehara, who went to watch the entrance to check the sound, went inside the switchium. And there, saw Tomori's body. At that point, the body discovery announcement rang. The others who heard the body discovery announcement arrived one by one, everyone gathered in the power room. Perhaps Taira, who was in the position of the third body at this time, was most surprised because Taira did not know the existence of the criminal. She thought she was the culprit, and yet a fire incident happened that Taira herself did not know. So when we received the Monokuma file and started investigating, the killer started the last act. First, the killer puts the third flashlight they used on the floor. The flasher was also in a state of charcoal because it was caught in the fire. The reason why it's because they threw something that catches our eyes on the floor in order to create a certain situation. The killer installed a sharp wire on the way of the flashlight, and she talked as if she had found a flashlight and voluntarily walked to pick it up. Yes, even though she knew that they have a sharp wire installed. It was on the thigh. He the killer deliberately guest got in the wire trap and cut their own leg. It was also precisely aimed at cutting the back tendon. I didn't even think at the time that the killer was going to cripple their own leg, although it was the culprit's intention to make us think so. One mistake of the killer here is that the rear tendon was cut despite walking forward. But I didn't even think about it because the person who saw an injured one at the time wouldn't think that. Yeah, okay. It must have been the culprit's idea, whose purpose was to get out of here. The culprit even gave up one leg of themselves and showed a look. Yeah, this isn't written right. While staring at us, the killer would have been. No, they would not. Yuki, stop writing fanfiction. Matching titles on his statements with various situations we were able to encounter. Yeah. The criminal who tried to hide their identity by throwing away their leg. The perpetrator who committed such a terrible thing to Tomori. The identity of the culprit who is smiling with a smile of deceit, watching our action behind the scenes. Why are they spinning? It's no other else than you. Hate no Ayame. How about it, Hatano? If you have anything to object to, please do. Wait a minute, this is... something was wrong. It's not like this. Really, what's not it? It's all decided. Shouldn't we see the end now? No, it's not over, it can't be over. But even if everything is correct and there's evidence, I can't convince myself. Hatano is the killer who murdered somebody that way. Damn it, Hatano. Damn it. It's all over then. No, Ayame-chan, please! Please tell them they're wrong. No! Oh my god. What's my score? Because he died more than once in a trial, didn't get medals. Oh my god! Oh my god. I can't believe Danganronpa class trial 2 just mugged me, bro. Oh, what? Are you done? Oh, what the hell? You guys took so long that I was asleep at the middle of it. Nope, I never slept. Mr. Monokuma, did you sleep? No doubt. Okay, well anyway, you guys seem to have come to your own conclusion, so it's okay to go into voting time soon. Now then, you guys. Yeah. Yeah. Shut the fuck up, bro. Why did Ayame do this? Why did she... Okay, we're already voting. Okay. No, it's okay. Wow, yay! Yay, yippee! Wow, great. This is the best day of my life. I mean, wasn't really attached to Ayame, so... That's amazing, you're correct. Tomori Kizuna was terribly killed, like that, by the ruthless Blackened, which it was Ayame Hatano. That's the answer. She's not saying anything. The answer? Did we do it? Did we get the culprit? Why is it the correct answer? I'm not happy to guess this. Damn it. You didn't guess it, bro. Decided, no matter how much you want it, voting on yourself. You don't want to suicide, okay? You don't want to suicide, okay? She voted on herself. Who would believe what you're saying? I can't admit it. I won't admit it. It's a big deal, so be careful next time. Anyway, whatever you say, there's only one truth. But I said it right. I don't lie when it comes to class trials. Is this real? Is Hatano really the killer? Did Akane vote on herself? Of course she is. I guarantee this. You guys said the answer you came up with at the end, right? Denying this is nothing more than an escape from reality. It's a lie, right? Ayame-chan? Bro, speak! Only the judge was talking. Everyone couldn't even breathe, because the result of the trial was so terrible. Mr. Tyler played the role of accomplice, so the case was extremely extreme, but it was also because the incident happened late at night. Why? I ask why! Why did a girl like you kill her? You, watch your mouth, Kabashikawa-kun. This can't be true. How is Ayame-chan the killer?
Bro. We want to believe that, but... Stop it, Akane.
Huh?
Any more than this, and it'll only make it worse. I can't hide it anymore.
What are you talking about, Ayame-chan? You can't hide it? Oh, if you say it like that, it makes you look like a culprit, you know?
Because she is, bro. I'm sorry.
You're sorry? Why are you apologizing? Why?
Somebody was killed by me.
What?
Yeah, well, you don't have to make another announcement. Because Monokuma already confirmed it.
Why did you... Did she have to kill and even go as far as breaking her own leg?
That's right. If the answer we came up with is correct, doesn't mean all we said, our reasoning was correct. You were asking to end the trial early so that we could heal your leg as soon as possible. If you're the killer, it doesn't make sense.
I don't believe it. I won't believe it. I can't believe this.
Yeah, in the end, you were also a murderer.
It's surprising, but the world unexpected doesn't apply to criminals. Because even outside of these walls, there are piles of criminals who are doing heinous things with dismal faces.
Why did you do it?
Please answer us. Why did you do that? Kinjo, get the fuck out.
That's obvious. It's because I want to get out of here. Huh? Isn't that obvious? Other than that, there's no reason to commit murder. To get out of here and seek my freedom, I want to return to my usual daily living. That's why everyone has no choice but to sympathize. It was just a choice of murderer's means.
OMG? What did you say?
You finally got my plan. I thought it was perfect because I could use Sada, couldn't I? No, Hada, no. What? In the end, you're just the same person as Higa? Even her name wasn't even localized by how shocked she was. This is what nature is, after all. Nobody can judge just by looks. No, I must know. The evil face that committed this murder. Oh, you caught me. Oh, she's freaking the fuck out. Okay. This is Hatano's true nature? She just wanted to get out of here, and for that reason she killed Tomori? Really? That's all? Something just doesn't feel right. As Kinjo said, I shouldn't judge by appearance. This might be what Hatano really looks like, but what is this deep pain in my head? I can't see it with my eyes open anyway. Let's just end it.
End it? You mean the execution?
Yeah, what's their execution gonna be like?
You were that kind of person? Hatano, for what the hell did we do this? Damn it.
On who did we trust for it? I'm not gonna get it started. Now, wait a second. Can we finish things like this? Can we really send Hatano like this? But Maeda, look at her. You may be right, but whatever you say to her, it won't work. Execution. Unfortunate for me. It was a waste. Hatano, is that really you? Are you saying you were pretending to be a human being?
Yes, this is the real me.
I thought you guys who were stupid couldn't figure out my tricks, but I guess you weren't so bad after all.
What did you say? Hey, please stop, Hatano. If I look at Hatano's appearance any more than this, I'll go crazy.
Hatano, you really don't have regrets? Are you satisfied with your actions? Of course, it's my execution. Come on. If you say regret, I couldn't get out of here. That's all I regret. Lies. What?
You wanting to get out of here is a lie.
What? You think you know me, don't you? It's not a lie. I did murder because I wanted to get out of here. That's all.
If you wanted to leave this place, you wouldn't have cut your own leg.
What do you mean?
Hatano did murder. That's correct. But there must have been another person. You liked acting as a villain, but your body is trembling, Hatano.
Christus.
Then the Hatano we just saw, she was just acting?
Why is everybody an actor all of a sudden? You mean she acted crazy on purpose? So then why did she really kill? Kurokawa, I can't... Hatano. After saying that, Hatano's appearance returned to normal. At that moment, I felt the pain disappearing from my mind and the sense of incongruity just before it was gone. My hands are already dirty, and it might sound like an excuse, but please let me tell you. This is how I committed my murder. It was running down the second floor corridor at the time of the incident. As you guessed, At this time, I saw Akane running somewhere. She was going in such a hurry. I tried to talk, but then I realized that Akane's body was covered in blood. I went into the power room where Akane had come out with no doubt. I found out that something had happened inside the switch room. I took a flashlight in a hurry to check the condition inside, and somebody was dying. There was a knife stuck in his stomach, as you all said. Then why did you kill her there? You could have thought of a way to call the others, and let somebody live. Because that was not the case.
It was not the case?
According to the facts I've seen, when I discovered her, Tomori was almost dead. I knew she wasn't dead because she was breathing hard, but that was it. She was already in the brink of death. That was until she got killed by you. I was worried, anxious, and scared. If Tomori dies, Akane becomes the killer. It was a scary thought. I wanted to throw that thought away.
What?
At that time, I really wanted to think about it. That kind and good-natured, that kind of... Why would she stab Tomori? I learned that it was an accident though, before the trial. But at the time, she had no idea. In my head, I just went like this because I only thought about Akane becoming the black end of this case. I couldn't leave her alone. I couldn't leave my friend alone while knowing everything, throwing everything away for the sake of survival. Wait a minute. Then the reason Hatano committed murder was...
Ayame-chan, because of me, to release me from becoming the blackened.
I just couldn't stay put and watch Akane being executed for pretending I didn't see it. I also wanted to call Inori to heal Tomori. But if Tomori's breathing goes out while I go... But what if Tomori's breathing goes out while I go to get Inori? Then Akane would have been executed without fail due to my mistaken judgment. I couldn't allow that to happen. Oh no. And from the very beginning, you were thinking of dying instead of Taira.
And that, including the cut on her tendon. All of that was to protect Taira?
This is the truth. I just couldn't say I didn't know about my friend's crime. A sad tragedy born from friendship. For a while, no one could speak. Inside the courtroom, only Taira's wailing was ringing in our ears. Was that really the only reason? Yeah. It is a commendable act to lay down one's life for others. It's not possible without some courage. In that aspect, you deserve to be recognized. But if those were the only intentions to do that, it wouldn't have been necessary to go to a trial like this, right? Even if you reveal the facts to everyone except the execution, your intentions do not change. But at the time of the trial, your appearance became as if you looked desperate. Hey, Mikado! If you say anything more to Atano, I won't let it stand. Even if you're a woman. I'm not scared of you, idiot, and shut up. I'm talking with Ayame Hatano right now. No, it's okay. Calm down, Kawashikawa. Sure, Mikado. There's something else. What else was there? I didn't tell you this, as it would sound like an excuse as I said the first time. As Mikado pointed out, doing this for Akane may have been just a pretext. I'll tell you everything. I can't be said there was no darkness in my heart. Somewhere in my mind, it was like, it's okay because it's for Akane. But there was also the desire to get out from this place. It must have existed in my mind at one point.
It did? Oh, but even with your leg like this...
This was the meaning of apology to you guys if I succeeded in escaping. And, even if my leg is paralyzed, everything is already too late. What are you saying? Motive. The first motive that we got when Maki was murdered. The outside world. I saw there was a terrible world that couldn't even run properly. Huh? How is that possible? So in the end, the initial motive was the driving force too. Other than me, my co-workers and rivals, they can't even walk anymore. But if that's the reason, if that's the case, what's the use of getting out of here with my legs fine? What? How did that happen?
Hatano, what happened? I thought that video was just a manipulation. And I thought Hatano would be the first to run non-stop but never be fooled.
I know, but I wanted to check if it was real. Until I saw it with my own eyes, I was nervous. And every day it drove me like crazy. This wasn't recent. From the time Maki died, I've been running around in my head. I had nightmares every night, and I was always confused when I was with her. All that can be said of me is the fact that something was gone blank. I wanted to see it with my own eyes. No one objected to Hatano. The feeling Hatano felt was exactly the same as me, because I still remember my family, and when I was alone, I couldn't stay still because of anxiety. After all, every breath was about the motive again and again.
We were vigilant about that new motive, called the secret note, but the motive that I was given the first time, no matter how many new motives came out, it did not disappear. The intense image was clearly stuck in our minds. I understand the feeling, but you were weird. I don't feel a strong will, like Mitsuhiro Higa, the desire to go outside. Was it a conflict? Conflict? Will you lose us for the chance to leave outside? Would you accept death for your dear friend Taira? You were in a conflict, weren't you, Hatano? It wasn't as big as that, but by the time I had appointed me as culprit, I had already given up on escaping, after everything was revealed. But the reason I got ugly and struggled until the end, it was because of Akane. I was relieved to learn that it was only an accident that Akane slapped somebody during the trial, because I knew Akane was the way I knew her. Even though, after I was driven as a culprit, Akane tried to deny my crime more severely than me, the culprit, to prevent me from being executed. I am the one that betrayed you all and committed murder. I'm a little happy inside. Like I wanted Akane not to die. She was the same mind too. More than that, how disappointed Akane would be if I admitted the crime. Not to mention Maeda and Kinjo couldn't be beaten. Why are you smiling? Huh? Oh, you're angry, Akane. I knew you would be disappointed, but I'm sorry. Why? We did this because of someone like me. How can you laugh like that? How can I laugh? Akane asked something very strange. Thanks to me, Akane is able to survive safely. Is there anything more simple than this? Hatano. Oh, damn it. In the end, I'm just an idiot who, after weighing in between dreams and bonds, did things that shouldn't have been done. Still, I'm satisfied. I could have saved at least Akane. I feel somewhat relieved. Although my dream ends here. You guys don't make the same mistake. You guys don't make the same mistake as me. Go after the best dreams you believe in. I chose to protect my friend rather than my dream. Now I'll say goodbye to this world. But at least I have no regrets. Don't say goodbye or end it like that. If you make it sound so ominous. It really happens. It happens even if you don't say that. Monokuma. Well, I understand Hatano's situation, but it's taking too long. Look, if this is a game, you have to think about the person who plays it. Shut up, Monokuma. Yeah, think about me. I don't know what Miss Hatano thought and what circumstances caused the murder. The important thing is the result. In the end, the fact that you killed Miss Somebody doesn't change one bit. Murder means the order has been broken. For a black man who has broken it, an appropriate punishment is necessary. Yes, I am to be punished. You take the sin and pay the penalty for it. Oh, confident attitude. I don't like that. It's different from Higa-kun. But for Miss Hatano and Miss Tara, it's whatever. In the end, the cause was that you wanted to go out, right? Hey. Why? Hatano-san a little while ago said with her own mouth she was conflicted because she wanted to go out. Shut up. You were the one who created this whole situation yourself. What are you saying? What am I saying? Are you stupid? If you forget the outside world, this wouldn't happen. You just need to live comfortably here, so if you want to get out, you have to go through a murder case. You should know this already. Stop spotting your nonsense and go ahead, disgusting bear. Fine, I won't meddle with you guys anymore. It's also because midnight already passed, so let's start. Punishment time! Ultimate Sprinter. Oh my gosh, I can't even use her leg. Everyone, remember to get along. No, wait a minute. Ayame-chan, please wait. Oh, there's still so many things I haven't told you. Ayame-chan. Let's go out! It's punishment! Ayame-chan, because of me, because of people like me, I stopped someone by accident, and I didn't do any cleanup. I also just bothered you. I made the scene. Don't go. I'm going to die. All I need to do is die. Monokuma, wait. It's punishment time! Akane, I want you to be alive. Live. Live with love, Luca. Live with love, Taida. Wait, what? What you- okay. What will her punishment be like? I'm very conflicted. Oh my god, what is this? What the? This doesn't look good. Yeah,
Oh. Huh?
it's printer. Design, of course, say. Is she in the carriage? Oh. Oh no, I don't want to see that. No thanks. Yeah, that's gonna be ugly. That's gonna be so ugly. That's gonna be so ugly. Oh my god. She was cut in half? She was cut in half. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah. Shut up. Shut up. Yeah. It's too much. Flesh, blood, Hatano. No, no. I don't think I can hold it anymore. Bro, even Mikako is... Hatano was executed. So much cruelty, so mercilessly. I found myself closing my mouth to endure the vomit that had reached my throat. For her colleagues and for her best friend, Hatano willingly gave up her life. How many people can do that in the world? That was the kind of person she was. Goodbye, Hatano. Evil, ugly. It's not a dream. How long do I have to continue this nightmare? That's up to you guys. Yeah. You mentioned this in the first title as well. Forget the outside world. You keep emphasizing the words. What is the purpose? What's the reason you went for a mask from keeping us inside? If I tell you that, it's a major spoiler. Shut up, you bastard. Why do you do this to us? Why? Tell us the reason. I can't even act anymore, bro. Then let's ask something different. The cost of entering an execution of the school is nothing but ordinary. Absolutely impossible. What the hell are you? Where this is argument? I cannot speak. I cannot speak. There are a lot of things you are curious about, huh? Wouldn't you like to know? Special service? Everything that you see in the school from the beginning, it was all here. I just modified it a tiny bit. I tried so hard to make you guys feel amazing despair. You guys ignore my warnings. It's really sad. Womp womp. Womp womp. Womp womp. Womp womp. Womp womp. Shut up. Womp womp. I can't read your line. What are you talking about? Yeah, I also don't know because I'm skipping the lines. Womp womp. Womp womp. Womp womp. Womp womp. Womp womp. Okay. Good night. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bug, but don't let Monokuma bite. Yet. Indescribable. But I cannot give up here. I have to move forward for the sake of our dead friends. Even though I thought in my head, my body wouldn't move nor follow. Did I really get out of here? Okay, so I feel no pity for Kizuna or Mitch. But Kyoka and Ayame, man, especially Kyoka, man, she didn't do anything. Can we really get out of here? The second trial is over. 4 people have lost their lives. Who will be next? Is it me? Is it me? Ayame-chan. Taida, calm down. Everyone is sad. It's all because of me. Kizuna-chan died because of me. Ayame-chan also died because of me. That's right, isn't it? All because of... It's all because of me. It literally is. Whoop! Spoilers. Reprimanding for yourself. I know all too well that it wasn't because of Tyra, but I just couldn't tell her anything. It's hard. It's hard to put yourself up. Taking care of others would be a real sainthood. All we can do for Taida is to let her cry freely without interruption. To be able to complain such difficult feelings with tears. It could have been me instead. It's ugly and noisy. What? Yeah, it's all because of you. I know you well enough. If you feel guilty like that, write a will and commit suicide or what? What is this guy doing? Kinjo, get the fuck out of my face.
Get the fuck out of my face. Why the will and okay. Are we? I need a minute. Right. Wait, what did you say, Kinjo? Say it again. It's better to get behind a bitch blackened like you. Bro. Blackened. Kinjo, are you crazy? Why are you suddenly saying all this stuff? I hate this the most. In my true sense, a blackened is certainly convicted of innocence to avoid the law. Blackened, you mean Taida? Is there anyone else who fits? Stop! This is bullshit! How many times has it been revealed that the stabbing Taida did to Tomori was an accident? Is that really what you say? To someone who just lost a friend after their death? An accident? Of course it was. Kisuna Tomori started it all. However, who made the final blows, no matter the pretext, must be punished. The two who were punished and killed, right? Taida Akane, who is at the heart of the case, more than them, is alive and clean from this. Have you forgotten? Even if this human had killed Tomori in an accident, in the class trial, Akane Taida made a false statement to hide her crimes. What would have happened if we were caught in that lie? Isn't it terrible to imagine? Directly or indirectly, Taida Akane almost put us all at risk. But she couldn't help it, could she? Taida knew she was guilty, and she knew she would have been executed if she told the truth. Then she shouldn't have done that in the first place. No matter how much of an accident it was, you think it makes sense to go and rush the blood to destroy evidence that as you stabbed Tomori? A girl who is willing to say that they're innocent. Isn't it normal to at least support Tomori and give her first aid or call Inori as soon as possible? They do have a point. Please think of Taida. The accident may have happened and the rescue might not have occurred because she was in a state of panic. No, I'm confident of this. If Taida Akane was really the Blackened, it's certain for a fact that she would try to trick us into it with selfish thoughts. Stop talking, Kinjo, you bastard. I'm not gonna tolerate this anymore. Oh wait, calm down, Kubo Boxer. Get your fists down, manly boy. You guys need to look at things objectively. What she did is wrong in every sense. There's still a lot to talk about, but I don't think it's the right time when everyone is on edge and confused as it is now. It's late today, so go to bed. I'll talk with you all tomorrow morning. Hey, wait, dude. If you want to talk to me, then stop. Hey, you bastard. Are you gonna leave just like that? Hey. Why is Kinjo doing this? It's like Kinjo is creating a separation between us. So what do we do now? Is Taida going to recover? Losing a loved one is a very difficult feeling. Ah, that's right. Taida, are you okay? Oh. I'm sorry. 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 Yeah, she's losing it. The despair is getting to her. She's losing it completely. She may write that will. Taida is all good now. Let's all rest for today. I don't feel good after a class trial. It's already late. You're done. Go sleep. Let's do as Kurokawa suggests. Honestly, I can't afford to think right now. Listen to Kinjo tomorrow. Today we are going to sleep. Okay, I feel like the more we do this, the more hard we have to work. Everyone, have a good night. Sleep well. Kind of impossible. Yeah. Kinjo, who should lead everyone, seems to be getting twisted more and more, and our friends start to lose their lives one by one. What can I do at times like these? Kyoka! Kyoka! Play one with everyone and relax while learning about them. Follow my own dreams. By now, I think it's possible for anything to happen. I have no more power to think anymore. Let's sleep for today. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god. I returned to my room. When I left the courtroom and returned to my dormitory, I greeted some of my friends and tried to chat a little, but everyone seemed to have no energy. That's no wonder. It only passed 3 or 4 hours before returning to my room, but within those 3 or 4 hours, we lost very precious things. Feels like it's been years and then. The stiff drum bed that couldn't be comfortable is now feeling better than anything else. Tired. He's gonna have a nightmare, isn't he? It's a situation in which we taste the despair of the death of our friends and do not know whether we will be able to stand up again. What kind of despair awaits for tomorrow? Okay. Yeah, the deep and where's the red text? Where's the red text? Where's the... Hey, hello, I don't know if you're comfortable. Don't you feel comfortable? What? Oh, tied up in public like this. What? What? Well, I came to bring the meal again today. Your appearance is still there, so take good care of your health until then. What? I thought you would be like this. I'm really sorry for being like this and having to lock you up. In fact, it would have been nice if I let everyone stay with you too. Your body is one that cannot age, isn't it? What the fuck? This is worse than red text. Oh, what? I getcha. It's all because that woman you love is still alive. There's nothing to worry about. Go there then, because if I'm not watching, I don't know what those guys will try to pull, so see you next time. What? Excuse me? Yeah, I do want to save. Actually. Okay. So that was it. Man, I don't even know what to say.